Go.
Hello everybody, Arnold Schwarzenegger here, continuing the fanfic from last week's session. Ahem. Squall. Hey, has that cake got the penis on it? Sid. No, it's a bunny, see? Squall. It's a penis. You baked a penis cake. And there. No, it isn't, Squall. It's a bunny. Quistis walks in. Squall. Hey, Quistis, look, Sid baked a penis cake. Quistis, that's amazing. How'd you do that? Sid starts to cry. Sid, it's the bunny. Scene changes to Selfie and Irving. Selfie, stop sniffing my panties, Irving. Give them back. Irving, but I need them. Selfie, no you don't. Irving, but Zell stole my underwear before he left. Irvin. Hi, Zell. I'm bi. Wanna go make out? Zell. Sure. Selfie. What about poor naked me? Irvin. You can come too, Selfie. Zell. No way. I'm gay, remember? Irvin. Oh, yeah. Switch scene to Renoa. Renoa. I have done wrong. I must rid myself of sin. Stabs herself in the gut and bleeds to death. Yay, dead Renoa. Squall and Quistis come across Renoa's dead body. Squall. Quistis. Smiley face. Squall. Dumb bitch. Quistis pokes a dead body with a stick. Quistis, yup, she's dead. Okay, now let's go before we're late. Wink. Selfie. Find Squall and Quistis. Let's have a threesome. Squall and Quisty. Okay. Squall, Selfie, and Quistis do some dirty things too nasty to type on here. Scene switches to Irvin and Zell, who are butt naked. Irvin. That's so small. Irvin. How are you supposed to do it with that, huh? How am I supposed to get any pleasure? Zell. I'm sorry. Begins crying. Scene changes to Selfie all alone. Selfie. Only if you have seen Team America will you get this. Begins singing, I'm so ronery. Meanwhile, a T-Rex saw feast on Renoa's dead body. Selfie. What? I'm a cannibal. Cool. Eats Laguna's arm. Switch scene to Irving with the gun to his head. Irving. Goodbye, cool world. Irving also commits suicide. The end. I guess.
Really quick before we shut this off, do you want to mention where you're going?
Yeah, I'm going to New York here in 2 days. For New York Comic Con and vacation from all of this.
Yeah, so some New York bronies hanging out with Midnight Dreams. Okay.
And it was like, where's Schwarzenegger go?
That's what I'm getting vacation from.
Yeah, all this noise you're hearing, that's what he's getting vacation from. So New York bronies, check him out. All right.
Yeah, I'll be updating the blog regularly on ponychatlive.com. If you have any questions or requests for me to do in New York, send it to midnightdreamsforever@hotmail.com.
All right, cool.
Thank you. See you guys.
on the beat point.
Oh.
What?
Are you okay?
Nothing.
Alright, let's start with Generation 1. We can laugh.
Are we recording us watching these?
Yeah,
and
this
our
is gonna
reaction?
be
Okay.
our low intro. I know I hit play. You piece of shit. The fuck is wrong with you?
God, the
damn
internet
It's
froze.
not.
It's
Yay,
not playing.
technology!
Reboots it.
Damn you!
And while
Fucker.
we're waiting,
What?
I don't know.
God damn, I'm gonna go throw a shoe in a printing press.
Yeah.
A shoe in a printing press?
In a pink printing press.
It's an odd hobby.
Well, it doesn't matter what color the press is.
Look
I
up
think
Saboteur.
YouTube died.
YouTube died?
I think.
Again? Why
Well,
am I not surprised?
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking. Bargain.
YouTube is tits up.
Well, when you get 30,000 fans watching a 9-hour video.
Yeah.
Nope,
damn
it's
that.
up.
Yep. Damn that 9-hour long My Little Pony video.
The shocking truth about the iPhone 5.
Piece
What?
of shit.
Nobody cares.
Transformers Prime loses his cool. Okay, well, we can watch this while we're waiting.
No, I can't.
No, we can't.
Why
No.
not? No?
No, let's not. Okay, I think we got enough to watch. It let it load while it's playing. Okay, this is G1 Ponies.
Oh.
I hope the sound's up. No, it's not.
I was killed by the sound.
By the lack of sound. There we go.
Oh, that's gonna record great.
Oh, I know.
What?
This is from the 84 special.
Damn it!
So this was the first thing that ever happened for ponies.
Now, I noticed it before. The chorus sounds like it's sung by a bunch of people who English is their second language.
Starring Sandy Duncan and Tony
Who
Randall.
the fuck are these people?
Tony Randall?
They're people that
They're
you
old
would...
people
They're
slaves.
80s
Dude, you were
people.
born like a decade later.
I
Yeah,
know, right?
there's Twilight.
They're too old for me to even really grasp who they are.
I was born the year this came out.
What year is this?
Cannonball, die! Die!
82
Damn.
80 Oh, yeah.
Why won't you die?
God damn it, Twilight. Why were you so dumb?
That Rainbow Dash?
Yes.
Crash and
Well,
die,
later
crash and
than
die!
that.
Damn it.
There's Applejack.
Oh, in the ass.
Applesauce.
Got that voice.
They get
Yeah,
worse.
they get a lot worse.
I started watching the movie. The movie has the worst voice acting I have ever heard. Just so bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
If the internet was around back then to see those two ponies lick each other's face.
Shocked immediately.
Okay, this is...
Now it's about to get
Oh,
worse.
this is where I freaked the fuck out.
What the hell?
No.
No, wait.
Potato people!
The fuck are those?
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, Mr.
Hung out with My Little Pony, huh?
Apparently, yeah.
No, that was...
No, and this wasn't my complete meltdown. My meltdown's coming up.
I was disturbed.
For a second there, I thought they were fat Paris sprites.
No, they should have just included G.I. Joe in this for some reason. G.I. Joe and Transformers.
But they already had their own cartoons.
That creeped me out. What?
Spike?
No, them and like
Oh,
baby
the
characters.
baby comedy?
Yeah.
God.
Here's where I freaked out.
This is the disturbing part. This is 1992.
This is Generation 2.
They're acting too anthropomorphic. It's really.
This is not yet.
It's
Not yet. Not yet. That's.
He just hates the bus.
Yeah. I can't deal with the bus.
I don't know why he can't deal with the bus.
I can't deal with them riding a
I can't
bus.
deal with them working their food silver milkshakes.
Yes, which they do.
I know. Like I said, they're being way too anthropomorphic. It's freaking creepy.
Well, Jesse's fucked in the head. That's why he has this thing.
But look at that.
Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. It's like they're wearing jumpsuits.
How did they play chords on a guitar without fingers?
Because
We're
you
just
have
making
no
fun
problem
of
with the
you.
idea of ponies driving vehicles.
Look at the leg warmers.
Eric doesn't like the bus that they ride.
That's a very 80s thing.
Yeah. I have a big issue with the
No,
bus.
this is the 90s.
Oh, this is 92.
Yeah.
Not that far.
Which means it's
Man, I
developing.
point out that appeared to be a short bus, and I have a feeling the Budweiser Clydesdales were going to high school in the normal
Oh
bus.
yeah.
And they
Okay,
drove
this
through,
one's
they
very.
drove
This
past
one.
the My Little Ponies like tards.
This isn't the most disturbing one.
This isn't the most disturbing one, but keep note.
It's very
You
quiet.
can barely hear the song, but remember the song. Remember everything that's happening,
You're about to watch it again.
because you're gonna watch it twice.
Except it gets more disturbing.
Yes, it becomes very, very disturbing.
Oh, God.
This was what, 2002?
I don't remember.
I don't
I can
know.
look it up.
Yeah, it's everybody's just fucking Justin here is just catatonic.
He was born, and this came out.
No, God, no!
You might want to save some of that.
You might want to save some of that rage.
It gets worse.
Yes.
Pony.
The high heels is what set you off?
No, Rainbow Dash singing style, period.
That's not the disturbing part.
No, that's not the disturbing one.
What year
This is
this?
not this is like 1999 or something, 2000.
Let's see. Let's see.
So somewhere in the background,
Oh my
Prince
God.
is just rocking out.
2003.
2003. This is it. This is the culmination of the nightmare. 3.5. It's exactly the same.
Except
The style. Except for the
It
style.
looks so much younger, that just creeps me out.
Yeah.
Well, it looks more like the current style. It's like they kept. It's almost like they were working their way to what it looks like.
No,
now.
Not really.
They worked as toys and
their heads are not the same size as the rest
They
of them.
have elephantitis of the feet.
10th heads, apparently.
And look at their eyes, bro.
Yeah, their eyes are not.
They kind of look like the current ones.
Not really.
It's like
No
saying all
way.
American comics look the same.
Yeah.
Do we have to go backwards and actually do a side by side?
There you go.
I like how you can't even say anything from that one.
So Rainbow Dash was.
Rainbow Dash was originally like a fashion girl or
So she.
something.
Okay, then they did the same thing to this. They've been doing the Transformers.
Yeah.
Where all the characters over the years get different personalities of different characters. And if you've been a fan of it the whole time, you're like, what the fuck?
Now
Like,
see,
why
this
does
is
current Ratchet have Cup's personality? Why does Bumblebee have,
No
Wreck-Gar's
personality?
gimmick? Like, none of it makes any fucking sense.
and this is the original beta for Generation 4. The good one.
The one that people will actually watch.
Yeah. This is like a morphine hit after having your leg amputated.
Yeah.
It's like, thank God. Yeah, see, Generation 3.5 and this look nothing alike.
God, and you know what's disturbing? Is that 3.5 one was from 2009.
Who's the backer behind? Who thought all that up? Does
I
it
don't
say?
know. It just says Hasbro just went and
I don't know.
redesigned it.
What were the episodes actually like?
I don't
I
know.
don't think there were any episodes. I think it was all straight to DVD. And here's the official.
There was a lot of
G4.
straight to DVD stuff.
Yeah.
When there was episodes.
Do you really want to go and watch those though?
Yeah.
Really?
Let's watch them and make fun of them.
We can do that later. I don't feel like.
I don't think
I don't
I can.
want to hurt myself today.
I mean, nobody
don't
wants
think-
to watch Manos Hands of Fate, at least not twice. But people
watched
will watch
it
the
once.
MST3K version of Manos Hands of Fate more than once.
I don't think anyone's drunk enough to
Nobody wants
the
to watch
original-
Manos again.
Yeah.
Watch the original ponies.
Elvira did her version the other day, and I tried to sit through
Not enough tits in the world.
it. Maybe it wasn't Elvira. Maybe it was the other one, the one with the beatniks.
Okay, I think we're done with that. We're
Yeah.
going. This video came up. I still love this video. If it would load.
Huh. Yeah, no, that's far more disturbing than the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, so she has what's her name's personality, the white one.
No, but even Rarity, the white one, is not that bad. At least Rarity's like. This is Rainbow Dash from then is like what? Rainbow Dash then was like those fucking dumb girls you see like at the mall. Rarity's
Like
like
Pam
the person
Monaco.
is like the person designing all the clothes they buy. She's a little bit more higher up on the food chain.
understand that.
Okay, so yeah, between 2003
She's a
and
fashion
2009,
Yeah.
Not just a fashionista.
the ponies were all, it was all direct to VHS and DVD.
So yeah,
So,
they never.
starting in
Oh,
2003,
I'm sure you can find them online.
I'm sure you can find them at Last Stop if you really want.
Yeah, probably.
If you
For like
really
$1
want.
a piece. Okay, so welcome to not Milo Electric Brony, or just the Electric Brony.
Like I want to, buy some My Little Pony DVDs at Last Stop alongside all the kung fu movies and comic books I usually buy.
Oh,
And
so you
have
got
the
a daughter
hipsters, have the
now, huh?
hipsters there fucking give me that look that makes me want to jump over the counter and throttle their frickin' scraggly bearded asses.
You don't have that?
Nice
that
chin
normally?
beard, bro. BAM!
You're not old enough to be a grognard, and then he's punched upside the face?
A grognard?
Yeah.
What's a grognard?
Really?
It sounds French.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grognard is French.
Okay, so I'm MDefMeg. You are
Apathy Pony, apparently.
Apathy Pony. You're
Autobubs.
Autobubs or Chris.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're right. It is
Either one.
French.
And you're the other
I am
guy.
that guy.
That guy or Justin. And Bad Credit, aka Dan, aka that guy that does stuff.
Yeah, apparently
That guy what calls people dicks on the internets.
Yeah, apparently grognard means old soldier in French, but these days it's an old board gamer, like an old war gamer type of a person.
Oh, right.
You can use it almost synonymously.
People are like, I miss D&D when it was chainmail. And it's like, wow, really?
I miss the 1987 edition of Warhammer, that sort of thing.
It's like you were old enough to have actually have done cocaine with Gary Gygax. I've heard stories he was a huge cokehead, and that he liked the prostitutes, and I have no idea if any of that's true, but I'd like to think that it was. That he was some type of like gamer rock star. He was like the Charlie Sheen of like D&D. It's probably not as true. He's probably
apparently,
Gary
it
Gygax.
also comes from grogner, which means to
Who's
snarl,
Gary
grunt,
Gygax?
growl, or grumble. And grognards are known for their grumbling.
Who's Gary Gygax?
The inventor of...
Get out!
What the? No,
Get the
go.
fuck-
Go.
You fucking whore! Get
Leave.
the fuck out of here!
Leave.
You
Leave.
bitch!
Get the fuck out of here now.
You really didn't know?
No, not really.
You should probably
What the
leave.
fuck? Did you
Or
go up in a
get you
cave?
need to get educated. Seriously.
How...
Get educated.
Although I should, well, hang on. I should also bring up that there was some talk here last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know. It all blurs together. There was some talk here about how Gary Gygax might have started D&D, but apparently he was never a fan of role playing. He wanted it to all be like chainmail, like very. Remember their whole company and their whole game system started out as miniatures wargaming, and then he was like, well, why do we only got to do history? Why can't we do like Lord of the Rings? Why can't we add some fantasy elements? And then chainmail became D&D. But from what I've heard, he supposedly always was very negative on the role-playing aspects. I've heard the exact opposite in years later, so who knows, man.
Nah, he made random...
It's one of those things where there's
charts
certain
for
people,
everything.
there's certain people in various fandoms that people will hate on, but it's like like look at George Lucas. Like, we all hate him now, but if it was
88 version of George Lucas
exactly
hates George
that's
Lucas.
the point I'm trying. That's the exact point I'm trying to make. Is if he hadn't made the Star Wars movies to begin with, we wouldn't have had those. But now we hate what he did to them now.
Well, yeah, but he even talked way early about special effects and shit'll ruin storytelling, and then he went and did it. He became the antithesis of what he did. So, I don't know.
He pulled a Vader on us, except it wasn't cool.
Hey, he pulled an Australian voice actor that can't voice act to dub Boba Fett again.
Well, now hang on. Why isn't a lot of our hate directed at his ex-wife who left him and broke his brain, and he's never been the same since?
Because he chose her as a wife.
Bitches
He's
change,
gotta
man.
they get fat.
Yeah.
No.
They get fat and
They
bitchy.
completely changed their personalities like a year in,
No,
and
but
you know
they-
what the fuck you're dealing with.
I don't know why they do that.
It happens.
Nobody does. Even they don't.
Stop doing that.
Stop doing what? Oh,
Not being you.
yeah, women.
With all of this shit of just be yourself, why the lie?
Yeah. Yeah, just... I don't know. Welcome to my little...
My little grog nerds.
Yeah.
Grumble, grumble.
Grumble, grumble. Anyway, Trisky from the Milo podcast, Streaming His Magic, is playing Warhammer 40k Space Marine.
Way to segue.
Yeah, that meaning that I listened not too long ago to the Milo podcast, Streaming His Magic, where they invited the Diamond Dogs but didn't bother to invite us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, fuck you guys. And so I shot off a very terse email to both of them. And they're like, we're sorry. And then, like, the Diamond Dogs were like, oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Are we part of fandom drama?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Although now we're invited.
Oh, y'all. Yeah, this is what I wrote to them. This was sent to both Milo Podcast and
apparently
Diamond
they did
Dog.
invite him. He just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are fuckers!
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
no, okay, here's my email I shot off to them. Oh, y'all, title, all y'all fancy now. Too good to invite anybody from the Electric Brony, formerly Yap, to your little pony podcast orgy. For shame, especially you, Somo King, from the Diamond Dogs, and Trisky from Milo Podcast, since you guys are the ones I actually talked to via Steam and email. Next time you guys decide to have an orgy, decide to orgy it up, make it a podcast three-way. Oh yeah, and apparently somebody on there mentioned Shoggoth, and none of them knew what it was. So I added, and I know what a Shoggoth is.
Mm-hmm.
I know what a shy guy is.
You know what a Shy Guy is?
Yes.
I know what a Shy Guy is, too.
It's a
I
sniffle.
found out what a blue marlin is today, but I don't know if that's anything to brag about. No, the sex act.
No,
named
I
after
don't-
a
I
blue
would-
marlin.
I do
yeah,
not
you-
care
let's
to
not
know.
talk about it.
To Google.
I was about no. I was about to say I saw a.
To the Urban Dictionary. Oh dear Lord.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
I looked up his name.
Oh, yeah.
His name apparently means a guy with a huge dick and a guy with basically no dick.
Huh?
Apparently.
There's no middle ground there.
No middle ground. It's
He's
like
the
Justin,
paradox.
the best guy ever. Justin, a piece of shit douchebag. I mean,
There's no winning in there anywhere.
A walking paradox.
It's like, fuck.
oh my god. Never Google your name on there. That's not.
Well, I know what my name means in German. but-
hear Alex's annoying voice.
What the fuck is going on?
It's okay. It's alright.
What the hell was that?
The place is haunted. It's okay.
Okay, good.
The place is haunted.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
No.
Okay, so are we gonna go over the other emails? Did we
Oh,
get-
Well, just really
Hooray.
We
quick,
should do something for Halloween.
We are. Oh.
Isn't Pony Chick gonna like do some stupid
Yes,
thing where he
yes.
does something from a haunted house?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's
It's,
supposed to be
that's
really
Icar-
haunted. I don't know.
That's Icarus's deal. We'll do something.
I
All you
caught the
gotta
ghost in
do
this
is
bottle.
show horror movies. Most ghosts like horror movies.
No, I want to go to a real haunted house and like perform an atheist exorcism.
Why would you do that?
Because it's fun.
Would you burn the house down?
No, you debunk it. You
Oh.
bring logic and reason and all the
Why not just
evil
watch
and
a-
good spirits.
Lots
Why
of-
not watch a horror movie and let, if any spirits are there, have a little chuckle?
The last Halloween party I went to 3 years ago,
I got some
I
horror
ended
movies.
up pepper spraying a bunch of douchebags, one of whom was
I
dressed
heard
as a
this one.
Teletubby. So that was like the best Halloween I could ever have. Nothing will ever top that. And quite frankly, some Halloweens I don't leave the house now because I'm afraid Halloween might try to top that.
Hey.
What are we talking about?
Hey.
But
remember-
anyway, I just want to wrap. I just want to wrap up this discussion I had with both of them. Apparently, French Milo podcast wants me on. I'm not too sure they want anybody else. But Diamond Dogs Diamond Dogs are pretty cool with having any of us on their show. So I'll pass off their emails to you guys. I'll just give you both of their emails. You could just harass them.
Hey.
So
Listen.
how would we do that? Some type of
Skype.
It would be over Skype.
interwebs magic. That
Yeah,
would
it'd be
allow us
either
to-
over Skype or Mumble.
Preferably
I'm pretty
with
sure
pants.
you could talk to them directly and they'll tell you how to do
Preferably.
You
it.
don't have to wear your pants.
Yeah, you can podcast.
I have to wear
naked.
pants right now. Hot damn.
That's if you're on
Damn it.
Skype.
My
That's if you're on
eyes!
Skype. You don't wear pants on
Yeah.
Skype. Unless you're on video chat and they can see your crotch.
And then you're on chat roulette.
Yes, you
So
are.
I can wear some like assless chaps like
Yes.
Prince or Marilyn Manson.
Yes, you could.
And nobody
I don't know
would
why
care.
you'd want to, but you could.
Oh, I'm having bad mental illness.
So, did you get any other emails? or
Yes,
is
we
that
did.
about it?
Yes, we did.
Make
That's actually a guy asking questions, which we probably should pass this on to.
I like how
Ask the
it's
question.
You have no future in professional broadcasting.
Absolutely not.
Do we care? No.
Absolutely
I
not.
kinda-
You're listening to the greatest hits of the.
For some
Of the
reason,
80s, 90s, and today.
for some reason, I think I'm trying to be like the Howard Stern of Milo Pony podcast or something.
I can't be nearly as
Art-
straight as that chick.
Hey, you
We've
don't
got to
have
be the
strippers.
filthiest.
We are the filthiest.
We have to be the shock jocks of.
We are
We
the
are.
we are the dirtiest Milo
Really?
Pony
That
podcast.
makes
Why
me a
don't we
little
have
sad.
We need to
Yeah,
get
because Trisky on Milo podcast is considered like their dirtiest member, and he doesn't compare to the shit I say. He might like refer to like Rule 34. We're on here like openly talking about. it.
Yeah, here's what you put into your browser to find it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny because we were running down a chat about old nostalgic toys yesterday. And we
Yeah.
just went on for like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
About-
which we might include that at the end of this podcast.
Just toys that people remember.
Yeah.
Like Z-Bots or the...
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah.
the Transformers ripoffs.
Z-Bots? No,
Z-Bot-
they were
no,
actually-
Z-Bots
Oh, those are the ones that you mix and match.
No, you're talking about GoBots. GoBots were the
No. I'm talking about like a number of lines.
He might touch
which-
that
I mean,
later.
we're the ones
Yeah.
with the
In
with
his
the-
own-
with
Oh
the
yeah, in
little
your own
motor-
little rant.
With the little motor in the chest that made the little stuff go.
The monkeys?
The Power Masters,
No, not the Power Masters. These these kind
the
of
new Transformers have that
No.
stupid thing.
No,
The wank sticks?
These Transformer ripoffs, they were robots. They had one of those wind-up motors in their backs, and you turned it around, and they'd like make a drill go, or make their gun turn shoot, or make a chainsaw go back and forth.
I do not remember that. I would
That
like to
sounds
see
cool.
I
And
would
they
like to
had,
see the.
and their arms and legs popped off. So you
Cool story, brah.
Stariers, I think they were called.
Oh, I remember those. I have the comics.
Any other emails?
Anyway, yes, we gotta get to this email.
Email?
All of them.
Yes, Chris, shut up. We have an email. We gotta just give a shout out to the peeps who support us, Chris.
Okay.
Yes, you'll be all right.
Enough with the bullshitting and get to the.
Okay, Moto Rider 248.
But Transformers are serious business.
No, shut up.
Danny,
You can talk
Danny
about
boy.
it in later
Yes,
segment, bro.
yes, in your segment, you got your own
We
segment,
can
bro.
talk about Transformers or No Crisis or whatever.
Or about the
I
Jews.
haven't even
porn.
wrapped my
He
head
don't
around
care.
that yet. I don't even know what to think about that.
All right.
Okay, email.
Okay, Moto Rider 248. All right, guys, I need some. Okay, he's wanting us to put sound effects into it, which I'm not going to. I'll just put in parentheses. I'll make the air quotes.
You'll have to do a special edition because he actually did put the sound effects to it.
Yeah, last night I read this and I actually did put sound effects into it. I just played YouTube videos. Okay, alright guys. I need some opinions. Car chase. I haven't revealed to my friends that I'm a brony. I've been tossing around the idea of throwing a pony party and doing a let's watch video with my non-brony friends. Explosion! Do you think it's a good idea? And if so, how do you think I would best go about doing this? Gunfight between two cars. Your opinions would be greatly appreciated. Walking away as car from chase blows up in the background because cool guys don't look at explosions. Also, you guys gonna read any more weird threads at the end of the podcast like you did in the first episode? I kind of like that. Anyway, keep up the work. Don't stop because it's pretty awesome. Well, we won't stop because It's pretty awesome.
I think
And-
the first thing I have to say is you don't need sound effects in your emails. It just makes it difficult to read.
Actually, hang on. I think what he was doing there is he's actually either laughing at one of my jokes or making fun of me.
Oh.
Because I always he's talking about something I always say is how like I have adult ADD and a lot of stuff people like tell me or send me like unless it has car chases, explosions, or ninja fights in it, I'm not going to be able to pay attention to.
Oh yeah, we've
or
made
finish
mention.
it.
We've made mention of like people asking us, is there like hidden boobs and explosions in the show?
Yes. Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
No, but actually, I
yeah.
think this guy's just referring to the first episode we ever recorded, which was right after the pony party, and we were all like drinking and tired.
And going, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
I was not here for that. So
No, you weren't.
I missed out on that too.
No, you did record the intro for it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
that
you
was
did. You
still
did a
pretty
good job
cool.
for that.
And I think so far
I
over
still haven't heard it.
Yeah.
well over 1,000 people have already heard that, or have downloaded it. Probably more have heard.
1,000 closeted shut-ins who own their own personal armories, and are halfway through filling out their freaking personal manifestos.
So,
Okay.
We love the ponies.
Japanese gun
You would
attack?
bow before the ponies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
He shot everybody with airsoft. It was terrible.
Now to go
I got one in my eye.
to this guy's question, how the best way to go about throwing a pony party or like a mini meet, and then well, I don't think we'd be really able to answer that. That's more Icarus and Jesse's thing.
Well,
So
we
you
could always do
Why
a
is Jesse
singing
not,
telegram.
why is Midnight Dreams not?
because he's running the store, and for some reason
Oh.
he's doing something else.
I got you.
Yeah. So
And he needs to save his strength for the other thing that he's more officially into.
yeah.
New York vagina.
Yes.
I don't blame him.
But anyway, so
Tone it.
Is that really what you were gonna reference?
No.
I think it was referencing.
She has a name.
I don't remember it because it was never told to me with car chases, explosions, and ninja fights somewhere crammed in there. By the way, who is this guy that's talking to us? Thank him for actually bothering to keep my attention span.
Moto Rider
Focused on him.
248. Yeah, Moto Rider. We didn't. None of us actually planned out the pony party. The best I could do is just pass on your email to either Icarus or Midnight Dreams, and then they can reply back to you on how to do that.
I wouldn't suggest a singing telegram invitation.
Yeah, don't do singing telegrams. You'll get tired out. What's a good Let's Watch video?
You're singing telegram.
Let's watch what?
A Let's Watch video, like intro video. What would be if you were showing
I
I always say droopy horn.
Droopy Horn?
Yep.
Yeah, the racism episode.
That's
Yes.
the first one I
That's the
watched.
first
That's the
one I
first
saw.
one we showed to Todd Habercorn, and
'Cause
many of us
I-
consider. I think his first Jesse
I'm still
episode.
behind that one. I'm still
Yeah.
behind that one.
Yeah, Bridal Gossip is a good intro. Also, I think another one is Party of One because of the.
I don't
dark-
know. That one you really need to understand the ponies.
Yeah, you
Otherwise,
do.
it's just like, what's up with
But
the psychotic pony?
Fair Weather Friends is like also a good one to start with.
Yeah,
Fall
that's
Weather,
it.
Fall Weather.
Yeah, Fall Weather Friends. That's
Ah.
but see, that's the one that doesn't include. Well, because it doesn't include the really girly ponies. It doesn't include Fluttershy or Rarity. They're in it. but
Nobody
they're
cares
not-
about those two.
Well, they're not good intro ponies because they're super girly.
Fluttershy is a fan favorite.
Yeah, but that's a fan
Crap,
favorite. Not
I really need to work on my sarcasm.
No,
I even turned my head funnily, like so.
funnily
Funnily.
funnily.
with
Well, we're
funnels
online.
attached.
How are we supposed to know?
Well, because I did this.
I almost killed an old couple with a funnel this weekend.
Why?
What? Okay, let's
At
hear
the Ren
this.
Fair in Sioux City.
Okay, Ren.
Ow.
There was a lot of crazy shit going on at the Sioux City Ren Fair Riversons this weekend. I don't even know if I'm legally allowed to talk about half of it.
Well,
but,
if it happens,
well, basically what happened is...
I mean, did anybody get raped?
Not that I know of.
Did anybody die? Did anybody get murdered?
No.
Did any animals get raped?
I don't know. There was a petting zoo. God knows.
Okay, was there any like illegal drug use that you know or where?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
So Ren Fair.
as long as you don't name names and where to buy it.
And I almost saw someone burn her hand off.
With
Okay,
Is she
let's.
cooking something?
No. After hours, they had a bonfire thing, and it's out there at some park in Sioux City. Like, apparently Sioux City has, like, 4 parks. Anyways,
Huh.
You could camp at this place, right? Okay, and I don't know, what do you call those? The thing where it's like a fire pit, but it's on a metal tube and it sits up above the ground.
It's like a public
It's a grill.
Yeah,
It is a
I don't know
grill.
if it was for cooking. It was just like a fire. Like it had a lid you could put on it, but then the sides had like grates so it could get air in it.
Oh.
Is that a brazier? Brazier?
it would be
I don't know
closer
what
to
they
a
I just
brazier.
call it Weber.
So anyways, well, there's drumming going on, and all the belly dancers hanging out with that, and everybody else is getting shit-faced drunk. Me and my friends are standing off to the corner, and some crazy lady is doing mystical hand gestures at the fire, and there's two of these things, and she's going back and forth between the two, like she's like a Jedi or a Sith trying to use telekinesis to shape the fire, and it's not working, so she has to use her hands because she gets some type of what did you call that in D&D? That component of the magic.
Somatic.
No, that's a spoken part.
Verbal and somatic components.
Okay, yep, you're right.
Science.
Oh my god, and we start watching her, and me and my two friends are just sitting there watching her, and we're like, oh my god, this bitch is crazy. And the thing is stuff like that, like crazy people always escalate. You know what I mean? And so she's doing this, and we're just watching her, and she takes the lid off of one of these things and goes to reach in with her other hand.
Oh my
And
god.
immediately,
Everybody, like, jumps.
no, they did not.
Wow.
Most people didn't see what was going on. I swear to God, we were the only three that really saw what was going on. I think there was a couple other drunks that... No, here is my take on it. I was like, listen, if she reaches in and pulls out a flaming, like, log and does not burn her hand, she either A, has legit magical powers, or B, is like, some type of, like...
Those people who can't feel pain.
Well, no, a magic illusionist like Penn and Teller, like it's all a trick,
Oh,
like it's
yeah.
David Blaine, you know what I mean? Like,
She's gonna
either
freeze
way, I'm
herself
going to be
in a block of
entertained.
ice for a week.
Also, C could be possible that she's batshit crazy and she's going to burn her Jillian hand off. Any of those three possibilities, I was going to be highly entertained. And so I just said, and then the bartender from like the pirate smoker thing, she runs over. Oh no, put the lid back on! Don't reach in there. And I'm like, aw, spoiled sport.
Okay, did you just say her Jillian hand?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the only other place I've heard that is on Portland Sucks.
I first heard that term when I lived in Portland.
Yeah, Portland Sucks is a podcast based out of Portland, Oregon.
Really? So it's
and
not
that's the
just
only
a-
other. That's the only
It's
other.
not a wide used term.
Yeah, Jillian.
Weird.
Jillian hand. That's the only other.
I can.
I guess it's a
No, I know
Portland.
what
I can
is.
explain exactly where it comes from.
I just thought it was more of a widespread use.
No. Okay. Well, I'll try and keep it short, like a minute or so. Okay. Here's the deal. In Portland. Now, I thought this when I lived there, and later on when I moved back home to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, I watched Insomniac with Dave Attell.
Okay.
Where that one dirty comedian, he goes. Comedy Central used to send him around all over.
Yeah,
the place.
yeah,
Yeah.
Those were good.
His Portland
shows.
episode, he said they have more strip clubs in Portland, Oregon than anywhere else in the U.S., even Vegas. And when I lived there, there is either a strip club or adult bookstore or some type of weird thing like that, like every block.
They're
I'm
like
not even
distributed
kidding.
at Starbucks.
Damn near, but they're all different chains and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean that.
like, dude, the one place I lived, I was literally down the block from the 420 Club, which was a head shop and strip club, or strip club.
shop and strip club.
Strip club, all in one.
It's funny because of the meaning of club.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Strip
synchronicity, is what it
Yeah.
is. But
Okay.
But no, it's like Portland, Oregon's like has the most beer breweries, the most strip clubs, and the most arcades, video game arcades.
If anybody wants to know what Portland is like, watch what was that show?
Portlandia?
Portlandia.
Yes.
It's two more.
Which now
letters.
here's the thing: if you have been to Portland, lived in Portland, understand the Portland culture, watch Portlandia, and you'll be like, "This is fucking hilarious. This is exactly how it is." If you have no idea what Portland is really like, watch Portlandia, and you'll think that's a bunch of horrible characterizations or caricatures.
Yes.
Of it's all completely.
No, and it just disturbs me because I know through talking to you that that's
some of it's cool, some of it's
basically
not.
fact.
Some of it's awesome. Some of it makes that one of the coolest places in the U.S. Some of it makes it one of the lamest.
what I still thought was funny is the dude that stops going to a coffee shop because of some other dude, and eventually goes
Well,
like
anyways,
full circle.
Anyways, here's my whole
Yeah.
thing. When I lived there, is they would have these ads and they had like all these little cool indie newspapers.
Yeah, they have like
Yeah.
I forgot the name.
They have a lot of alternative stuff
Yeah.
there. That's why that town is cool.
Yeah.
It's like what Seattle was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the thing: is in one of those alternative newspapers, I saw in the back they had some ad for some place that was hiring models. It was some type of alt porn thing that said they were very female friendly, and that immediately confused me because as a fan of pornography, it is not friendly to women. In fact, that's half the appeal of pornography is that it's very degrading to women.
Yes.
And the thing is women who get pissed about that, it's like, some women like to be degraded. In fact, most of you. And in fact, some of you are willing to take money to be degraded. Which is somehow, I think, degrading to us as men. That we're willing to pay for that. But anyways, whatever. That's a whole nother topic of discussion.
God, he's going to have like 5 episodes.
No, I'm almost done. Here's the deal. Is I looked up their site, and it was the first time I'd ever seen pornography where the women had orgasms and were having fun. And weren't being like somehow humiliated and or abused. And I was like, I actually enjoy this pornography more. Yeah. Oddly enough, even though I have a German last name, you think I would enjoy all of the,
You know, that's the exact same reason why I read a lot of Japanese stuff. Not the tentacle stuff, but all of the stuff where it's a nice...
The romance stuff?
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't know, yes. There's hentai that's like a romance.
Like, it's a nice, fun thing for everybody. Without,
Yeah.
the insanity necessary. It's weird like that. And it's funny that porn seems to be trending that
Here's the
way.
thing is, look up alt porn or alternative porn, and they tend to be a lot more woman and queer friendly.
Is it anything that nobody can put
That's a
into
term.
the
That's a slang term that they use a lot. Oh, jilling off. For a girl masturbating, so jacking off.
Yeah, it's jilling off.
And it's a way to, I guess, claim that for women or let them be part of the boys' club.
I don't know. I wouldn't have picked it because Jill came tumbling after Jack broke his head open. Not the greatest,
Yeah, after, because he's going to come first.
Yeah, but
and
why
then
would
she's got to get herself off?
No,
makes sense to me.
Jack fell down, smashed his head open, and then Jill tripped over the same piece of shit. I don't understand why she would want to do that.
That makes sense to me. That completely symbolically on every level describes gender politics to me. Is that women now find it, like feminists find it empowering to sleep around and not get married and do all this horrible crap.
There's a whole...
It's like, wow, you can be just as wrong as men.
And
wow, you've come so far, baby. Smoke your Virginia Slims, derp.
Yeah, it's the whole slut movement, you see. Where it's like women want to do that, and I'm totally fine with that.
But see, I don't throw sexual politics onto every little story. Which is why
I didn't either. I just think that sex is funny, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it is kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Especially with stag beetles.
Cockroaches.
No, you mentioned...
You mentioned the funnel.
Check out... Okay, check
out... that story?
Wait, really quick, right? Check out Portlandia, and also check out Portland Sucks. It's Portlandia is a TV show.
I do not know about Portland Sucks. I'm going to go check that out.
Yeah, and they also do... they're part of
Portlandia is on IFC, isn't it?
Yeah, IFC. Portland Sucks is a podcast. It's a daily podcast done by Cascadia FM. They're on iTunes. They're a fun podcast to listen to. They also do other Portland-related podcasts. Really quick, what's your opinion of the Timbers Army?
Who?
The Timbers. The Portland Timbers are Portland's MLS soccer team, and the Timbers Army is their fan club.
Oh, that's funny because the Timber Maniacs is a comic, not a comic. It's a magazine in Final Fantasy VIII.
Funny.
I actually know nothing about this.
They're supposed to be like the most fanatical soccer fans in North America.
Oh, so like the soccer games they actually have in...
Are they soccer hooligans?
They're not actually not... They're the most fanatical, but they're not violent like hooligans.
Oh, well then they're not much
so they're not like English people.
So
they're in Portland, Oregon, the most passive-aggressive city in the country.
Yeah, they'll put sticky notes on your car.
Yeah. So them yelling and cursing during a soccer game is probably the most aggressive.
Now, that's actually one of the things I'll say bad about Portland.
Is that they're so passive-aggressive?
No. Is that they really are a bunch of hipsters. They're a bunch of fakes. I live there, and it's supposed to be this super liberal, super peaceful hippie place. And our state's 17% atheist, more than any other place in the U.S., and blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to be so cool. And I swear to God, when I was there, all I met was a bunch of homophobes and jerk-offs, and I had knives pulled on me by a homeless guy. I've had to fist fight crackheads, freaking, dude, I literally, my first or second day there, I went to cross the street, and a hippie in a Volvo went to turn a corner, and I had the little glowing white man telling me to cross the freaking, the red light, don't turn right. I can cross walking. the guy pulled out and almost hit me in the knees. I jumped out of the way, and he stopped, and he waved me across, and I went to walk, and he gunned it and tried to take me out the knees. And it was a hippie in a Volvo. Like, the guy looked like Jerry Garcia, only skinny. And I jumped out of the way, and then shovel stepped back in, and did a side kick, and put a dent in this freaking Volvo, and he stopped. And I went, get out of the car. And he looked at me, and he did the math, and he took off. And I had 3 different incidents like that in Portland, okay? So they're a bunch of fakes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I worked with an old Vietnam vet who was a really good guy, because literally working overnight at the gas station, I worked in the busiest gas station in town, at the corner that was the 2 streets that cut the town east, west, north, south. Mm-hmm. We were the busiest place in town, and working there overnight, like, the people who worked there before us had guns pulled on them. And, like, I had grown men I worked with that told me that they only felt safe when I was working with them. And, like, yeah, so me and the old Vietnam vet, we disagreed on a lot of things, but we were partners. Like, literally, we were like cops. Like, we had to go to our beat, you know, and, like, you know, fight all the scumbags, like, every night. You know what I mean?
You
so
may
it was
have
like,
your differences, but you're kick ass.
It was like a buddy action cop type of thing, you know what I mean?
Why hasn't somebody made that movie? It sounds like an amusing movie.
Well, here's the deal. What was it he said? He was always like, I was down... Oh, the one time he was like, I was downtown today, and I saw a couple of queeros walking by holding hands. And these 2 guys are just doing it out in the open, walking right. I'm like, hey, I'm walking here. And I'm like, well, you know, they've been here for like 20, 30 years, right? And he's like, when did they all move into Portland? I'm like, how long have you lived here? Like... You are those old white people. They're all like, when did all these Mexicans move in? It's like, where the fuck have you been? Back in the 1800s, we illegally immigrated to Mexico and then stole it from them at gunpoint, and they got pissed and killed a bunch of our dudes at the island. Yeah, whatever. Oh, the Tea Party's right about everything. I'm an idiot. Yeah, whatever. Read a history book. Stupid.
So, what about the funnel?
Okay, after the Ren Fair, everything was over. We had to stop by a gas station and get some things. And I was joking around and making everybody laugh. And my goth friend that I was up there with, Necrofina, told me that, yes, the goth belly dancer that's like a sister to me, and her boyfriend were there. And she was like, oh, hey, Dan, grab me 2 of those oil funnels. And so I grabbed 2 of the little paper oil funnels. She goes, my bra's all broken. I have to put them in there to give it support. And I looked at her, I'm like, oh, like Madonna in the 80s? You know, the cone bra? Yeah. And she goes, I was just kidding, Dan. And I'm like, oh, I thought you really wanted... I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I put them together, and I stuffed them down my pants. And I was wearing sweatpants at the time, and it looked like I had an erection. And so everybody was laughing, and then her and her boyfriend were like, we're leaving now. And they tried to quick, like, get away from me as I walked out of whatever Casey's General Store in Sioux City with what appeared to be an erection. And then I got outside, and we decided on the spot that we needed to do a... what do you call, like, a series of artistic photographs? A
shoot?
Yeah, we decided to do a little picture shoot behind the place where they had this giant hill that was almost a mountain. Oh. And me, appreciating nature, with what appeared to be a raging boner in my sweatpants. As we took pictures of that, some old people drove by and almost drove off the road. So I almost killed 2 old people with my fake erection. That was a oil funnel, a paper oil funnel. That's the story.
I just went to the Wikipedia page about the Timbers Army.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, I went to the Wikipedia page on oil funnels. There's your picture right there.
I'm going to oilfunnels.com and adding a new use to their 101 uses for an oil funnel.
I give 3 days after this is up, somebody's going to start making a fetish porn of that.
I'm sure it already exists.
You think? I'm not going to go.
Did I ever tell you about my list?
Your list?
Yes. It's actually, it's very important to me.
What's the list?
As a martial artist who's studied close to 20 different styles, and I've been doing it for half my life. I've been doing it like 17, 18 years now. It's a huge part of my life. And I hate to really bring it up sometimes because I will talk for 3 hours and I'm bored as shit out of everybody. And
well, you can always cut this out and make it a thing.
Here's the thing. I have a list over the years of moves I made up on my own. And that's actually one of my long-term goals is I would like to have a move named after me, have some type of immortality, have some type of stamp on the martial arts that I left, rather than just being a student, actually make a contribution to the greater overall science and art of it. I have a list, and it was 10 moves, now it's up to like 15 or 20, of moves I invented on my own. But every single one of them so far I've found that pre-existed in another martial art.
Because it's going to be pretty hard to, one up on 2,000 years of dudes.
And in fact, I just had to mark off, I had to make a new one the other day. I just found one the other day that I didn't realize
Another
that...
one?
Yep. I was like, oh, well, no, somebody else had that
moves
idea.
I've discovered that other people had.
Simpsons did it.
Kinda, yeah. What were we talking about? How did that?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
That had relevance on some
I
level.
asked how the funnel, and then you told the funnel story, and then I was like,
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
'cause
make a porn of it, and then you're like,
Yeah,
it's already
yeah, yeah.
happened.
And
I have a list.
I want to mention
there's
something
probably a
about the
fetish
Timbers
before I
Army.
came up with making
Oh.
an oil funnel a fake boner.
Oh, probably.
No, apparently the Timbers Army never likened themselves to hooligans. Portland likens them to British hooligans because they go to the soccer games, get drunk, and shout and say foul words. And apparently this equates them to hooligans.
Do they flip double-decker buses?
No, they do not.
Then they're not hooligans.
Yes. I'm just saying that...
Has at least
they're
3 people
plastic,
died
not paper.
via
But still.
trauma to the brain through a wrench?
No, seriously, if you're from Portland and you think the Timbers Army are hooligans, they're not. Everything he said is absolutely true. They flipped double-decker buses. They've killed people. They've gone to Germany during the Euro Cup. And when it was England versus Germany, they draped British flags over German statues. They
It
were
was
calling
nuts.
Germans Krauts, calling them Jerry's, beating the shit out of Germans.
No.
It was horrible.
If you want a good example, I think it's a fairly good example.
There's a
Green Street Hooligans.
Yeah, I need
Was
to watch
that-
that.
Green Street Hooligans.
There's that, and there's another hooligans documentary that I can't remember the name for. That is actually about the last Euro Cup that was in
Oh,
Germany.
yeah, you can probably look
Scottish
at
soccer hooligans will bring darts. Like here in America, you play darts at the bar. I'm
Yeah.
sure in Britain
Yeah.
and stuff they do it at the pub and all that because they have these things. And like ours are now all fake plastic
Yeah.
things. You throw in an electronic thing.
Yeah.
Over there, they still have steel tip darts.
You can
It's
still get
basically
those
like
here.
it's like a ninja dart. God damn it! And they throw it at
Yeah,
a cork
but they're
board.
not as public.
No, they'll bring.
Oh
it
no,
to the
no! A
game.
bar won't let you have.
No,
A
no.
bar will give you the plastic
Because
darts. You have to
drunk
bring your
people
own.
plus a deadly weapon.
Yeah, Scottish soccer hooligans will fill their pockets, go to the game, and then when their team's losing, they whip them at the star player of the opposing team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw like a game in Brazil once where somebody threw a goddamn pipe bomb at the goalie's head. It blew up next to his head. You can find this on YouTube or something. It blew up next to his head, dropped him, giant riot, they clear out everybody. Dude fucking lived.
Oh my god.
But he's deaf. I think he's blind in one eye and deaf in one ear for the rest of his life. But he
That's
took a
hard.
pipe bomb to the head. He took
Where
a
was
pipe
this?
bomb to the
That's
face.
harsh.
Somewhere, I don't know.
Brazil?
No, but in this documentary, they talked about. No, actually, it wasn't the Euro Cup. It was the World Cup in Germany, and Brazil won that. And they showed them. They were showing they don't show any of the games. They just show what's happening around the game. And it was Brazil versus England. And apparently, there was after the game, Brazil won, and a bunch of Brazilians are out on the German streets celebrating. English soccer hooligans. There's one guy, one Brazilian dude. He's got his flag as a cape, the Brazilian flag as a cape. Bunch of soccer hooligans gang up on him and try to hang him by his by the Brazilian flag.
That would suck.
And it's they talk the riot police, the Polizei. They were so fucking exhausted. It's come to now to where England. No, I'm not saying British, England, because again, I'm sure you know England, Scotland, Wales, all have their own teams in the World Cup. English soccer hooligans, in particular, are banned in many countries from the World Cup and the Euro Cup.
I've actually seen a clip of some European game where a guy streaked. I don't even think he was naked. I think he just ran onto the pitch and was running around like, wee, whatever. And like 4 cops in riot gear because they're already in riot gear. They're like,
Well, if you're at a soccer game, you're in gear.
The Germans and the German Polizei, they do not fuck around when it comes to soccer
So
games.
4 of these guys jump the guy, pin him to the ground, and then just start nightsticking him like he's Rodney King. Only
they do not. They will beat the shit.
And the thing is this guy didn't do anything violent. He just ran on the pitch. And what I love about this clip, I'll have to find it at some point. I don't even know where you'd look up any of these, but I'm sure if I looked, I could find them. The fans start yelling at the cops like, he didn't do anything, leave him alone. And they're like killing this guy. The fans, like hundreds, if not thousands of people come down out of the freaking audience and beat the shit out of these cops to the point these dudes are running away, leaving their nightsticks behind.
And the whole point of them, they were trying to, because the thing was, is the guy streaking the field was to probably incite violence, but it ended up being the cops beating up the guy that incited.
That's
the
why you
violence.
just gotta
kind of like Occupy Wall Street. Wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh yeah, Occupy Wall Street.
You gotta
God.
tase
Don't even get me started on that, or I will rant for 3 hours.
Oh god, it's so funny. It's so stupid to watch, to read. stupid conservatives online about that whole thing about Occupy Wall Street.
So what else is there to talk about? Do you have any more emails?
I have
We
more
don't
about
have
soccer.
That's one. That's one email.
I have more
right
about
there.
soccer.
I thought we were.
There was
supposed to
literally
talk
a
about
war.
sports.
No, we can talk. Okay, here's the thing. What Icarus was doing was talking about LeBron James and negotiations and stats and all this boring shit I don't give a fuck
okay.
about. We're talking
funny
about
stories.
we're talking about
violence and psycho.
we're talking about violence
I got a
and
second
sports
story.
violence, and we're talking about the shit that makes sports fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got one. It was I think it was down in Brazil. Some guy accidentally kicked the ball into the other team's goal.
Oh,
After
God.
the game, he walks out, gets mobbed and beaten to death by his team supporters because he kicked it into the wrong goal.
Wrong goal, bitch.
Okay, there was literally look it up. Look up the
Rob
soccer
Bovich?
war. There was literally a war, a 3-day war fought down in like Central or South America, where two different countries down there had a soccer match, and rioting broke out between the two different countries' fans. It was like held like right on the border, like right near there.
Ew.
And and basically the cops and soldiers on
Oh my
either side
God.
of the country got involved, and it was a 3-day shooting war. It's literally called the soccer war.
Okay, no, it's called the football war.
Well, yeah,
It
okay.
was El Salvador. It was on the El Salvador-Honduras border. El Salvador won.
The war or the match?
The war.
Wait, which was more violent?
Okay, here we go. El Salvador had 30,000 troops and 1,000 aircraft.
That doesn't mean they used them. That doesn't mean
No, that just shows their military power.
Right, this is the tail of the tape. This is the tail of the tape. We got to know their stats.
Yeah,
For the soccer
and
war.
then Honduras had 23,000 troops and 600 aircraft. Casualties and losses, which includes civilians, 900 in El Salvador, 2,100 in Honduras over a
Holy
fucking
shit.
football game.
Oh,
Yeah, and here's the thing: is I've been saying this for years. That you hear people talk about, like in the '80s. Oh, it's going to be us and Russia. It's going to be nukes. That's going to be World War III. They're going to send this giant like wave of tanks through the Fulda Gap. You know about that because you grew up there.
Yeah, I
for that to
I
happen.
grew up on the Fulda Gap, or near the Fulda Gap.
And I'm sure our European fans know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Well, for now, we've always said, oh, no, well, some crazy, terrorist is going to grab a nuke and blow something up, and then we're going to be at war with everybody else on the planet. That's going to be World War III. Now we're all saying it's going to be over oil, or the Chinese, the next generation of Chinese, there's going to be 10 boys for every one girl. The next World War might very well be over pussy.
Or water.
Yeah, but my theory that I'm sticking to these guns, it's going to be soccer. World War III is going to be started over a soccer match.
and America's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, see, and that's so funny that a lot of soccer haters like complain about how pussy and like how they're always faking injuries and shit. It's like,
No, the fans are psycho. The players, meh. Although I can't.
well, no, it's really only two countries that do the fake outs: France and Italy. Spain and Italy. Other countries don't really do that, and they'll penalize their players for actually trying to fake.
There are some soccer players who are straight up insane. One of them we know about firsthand here almost. The guy, what was his name? The guy who played Juggernaut in X-Men 3.
And he was also
Snatch.
Bullet Tooth Tony in Snatch.
Yeah.
Hang
Oh
on.
yeah.
Yeah, remember?
Funny.
No, actually, in
He
what?
used to play soccer in like Scotland or England or something, and there's the most famous picture of him. You can buy a poster of it online. They sell posters of this. Is a guy from his own team behind him, and he just
Vinnie Jones.
He's reaching back, squeezing the guy's nuts, and
Yeah,
he said in
I've seen
interviews.
that.
He said in interviews that he thought it was an opposing player on a different team, and he just reached back and grabbed him and didn't
my
realize.
God.
He's also said that kid was a rookie, and that was his initiation onto the team. Now, we here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is in the middle of the Midwest.
This is the character is Vinnie Jones, best known for being the Juggernaut and being Bullet Tooth Tony in the movie Snatch. And continue.
The actor once took a vacation, came to the middle of the U.S., the Midwest, where we grow all our crops, and we're just a bunch of boring farm towns. There's nobody living here. And it's considered the flyover states of all the cool people on the East and West Coast. They're like, oh, well, we just fly over those to get to the East Coast or the West Coast, to L.A. or New York. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He came out here once to hunt, because,
we have pretty lax.
Ted Nugent
Yeah.
and all these crazy celebs like to come out here and shoot poor little defenseless animals.
Hey,
That
if
pheasant.
you shoot deadly animals, they might fight back if you don't kill them.
Yeah, that's what you go to Africa for.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've seen people get fucked up by a deer.
Oh, yeah.
You get kicked or hoofed
Yeah,
by a
but
deer.
Well,
most-
I know somebody on the highway that they hit a deer, it flipped over and came in through the windshield hoof first and hit him in the face, and they both ended up comas.
Oh, not to derail your story, but apparently a couple weeks ago, 2 Canadians were killed by a flying bear. What happened was they were in northern Canada. They were driving up a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
A 450-pound black bear was crossing the road, got hit by a semi-truck.
Oh,
bear goes
shit.
flying, goes straight through the fucking car, decapitates both of them.
Oh,
And
double
flies up.
kill.
Yeah.
That's not something
Yeah.
to laugh about. But
That's something to laugh about, but just the shot. I mean, you know the
That's
guy.
it
It's-
would be something to laugh about if the bear walked away from this.
Yeah.
Wait, do we
It's
have
just a-
tape of that? Do we have
I-
a video clip? Because that would be
It's
hilarious.
it was like
If
in
a
the
bear can
Yukon
walk
territory.
away from that, you know you do not fuck with bears.
It's like up in the Yukon, so I doubt there's video.
But no, anyways, as I was saying, Vinnie Jones, you can look this up on YouTube. Look up Vinnie Jones bar fight. He was here hunting, stopped by Sioux Falls, went to one of our douchebag bars.
Yeah, they went up
Like one
to,
of our little Jersey Shore rip-off pieces
No,
of shit.
it's a Jersey
And he got in a
Shore-
fist fight with a bunch of dudes. Like, a dude busted a beer bottle over his face, and then he wailed on some guy. And he's fucking huge. Like, I'm a large man. I think he's got a couple
Wait,
inches
no,
on me.
I have to ask. Okay, did he initiate the fight or provoke the fight?
Let me think. What supposedly happened was is he came up to a pool table
Because
and
we
asked,
we have
he-
to make sure we get the story straight.
If I remember right, you could look it up too. But if I remember right, what happened was he came up to him and his friends.
Holy
One of
shit.
whom was like a bodyguard or something. Came up to a pool table and said, put their quarters down and said, "Can we have the table next?"
Okay.
And one of the guys at the pool table said, "Hey," said something about, "Aren't you the Juggernaut?" And he took offense at this and said something back to him. And then one of them busted a beer bottle on his face. And in the clip, you can see he's bleeding from the face. And then everybody started fighting.
Yeah, there's video. There's a security camera video.
Yeah,
of
which
it.
is nuts because that one of those dudes they're fighting with is bigger than him. And like these are dudes
Yeah,
so big they
yeah.
make me look medium sized, which and I'm a pretty big dude.
Oh, you're watching the video.
The one big dude
Yeah.
the one big dude throws Vinnie Jones down like he's a child.
Yeah.
And then Vinnie Jones' buddy, who wasn't even that big, grabs that guy and whips that guy like a rag doll. It's fucking crazy. Now here's the thing. I don't think them asking him, "Hey, aren't you the Juggernaut?" is what made him get pissed.
No.
I think what happened was they went, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!" all drunk and shit, and he probably,
I'm actually looking at the bar right now in case if anybody would love to visit the place.
what is it, Tinners? I've been in it. It's a shithole.
It's not. Is it Tenders? I don't think it is
Yeah,
Tenders.
None of
See
us
the
are
clock
pretty or
tower.
rich enough. Or,
Yeah, here it is. Here's
or-
the bar. Let's see if I can get the name off of it. It's not enough detail.
It's a douche.
Wiley's Tavern.
That's it. It's a douchebag.
Yeah,
hangout. I've
Wiley's
been in there.
Tavern.
None of us are pretty or rich enough or enjoy date rape enough to hang out in there.
Oh my god.
You don't have to be rich. I've seen some pretty poor douchebags.
Oh yeah, I went in there.
I don't think anybody has to enjoy date rape.
No, it's total bro culture. It's total frat boy, Jersey Shore, polo shirts,
Situation,
steroid
yeah.
muscles,
I
fake
never
tans.
understood polo shirts.
Orange people.
Yeah, tanorexics.
Yeah, I'm reading about the football war.
Snookies.
Wouldn't a tanorexic not get a tan?
Yeah, tell it to the internets. Don't get mad at me, bro. Get mad at the interwebs.
Internets.
I'm reading about this.
Wibs.
I'm reading about the football war. The situation that happened in El Salvador with the football war led up to the El Salvador Civil War, which killed nearly 80,000 people. So literally, this football war was
My World War III theory isn't that far
Yes,
off.
it caused the death of over 80,000 people over the course of 10 years.
And there is an interesting little thing in history that supports this too. Beyond that, is that the Romans, back when they had an empire and they were invading everyone, they always, what they wanted to do is they wanted to conquer. They were ripping off what the Greeks were doing. They wanted to conquer the whole world, and then basically, we'll make them all our new states, so we'll finally have peace because we'll have no enemies.
yeah,
All be one
Pax
people.
Romana.
Yeah, peace by the sword.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, is they always had to have an excuse. They couldn't just go, we're going to start a war with you, because that's the whole thing. No, they always had what they called a subtext. They always had to have a subtext.
A reason to do what they
Yeah,
did.
like we had that recently in America. Oh, 9/11. What's Iraq got to do with 9/11? He tried to kill my daddy. What? This has nothing to do with anything. Just bullshit to start a war. Trust me, there'll be...
Insisting that needs to make sense is un-American.
Yeah, exactly. Strategery. So anyways, yeah.
I'm against political
Oh.
commentary on this.
I don't care about political commentary.
Well, just his.
Well, we made
He
we
makes
made,
voices. I don't like voices.
we made fun of Catholics. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catholic.
We already got hate mail for making fun of Catholics.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
You
We
want to
talked-
get hate mail from George Bush?
Yes.
That would
George
actually be
Bush-
pretty impressive.
That would be.
If George Bush, if you're listening to this, go fuck yourself.
George Bush, if you're listening to this, why?
Yes. Why are you
no,
listening to
I
this?
would like to know why.
Yeah. Do you like
I love
ponies?
them ponies. The pink one makes me laugh. Mommy, can I have some My Little Pony? George, you were president for 8 years. You have $1 million. You can buy anything you want. Mommy, can I have one?
Mommy, that white one makes my penis feel weird.
Oh.
Yeah. The white one reminds me of cocaine that I snorted in college.
No, it's just that, like, I tend to, when I'm joking around, I tend to say Rarity's the cum dumpster of the town.
He probably is.
Well, she's white.
And
she's
trendy
got a
and a
dick.
fashionista and makes clothes.
Wait, Rarity has a dick? Oh, right.
She can go both ways.
Okay, anyway, what were we talking about?
I'll say this. For all the crazy soccer hooligans,
Yeah.
America has its own crazy fans. Raiders fans. The LA Raiders.
God.
I'm sorry, American football, which we play in our hands. Listen, here's the thing. I'm an MMA fan. I'm a cage fighting fan, you know. And here's the thing. Us MMA fans, we tend not to actually be jocks, per se.
Yeah.
The fans that remember, like, the original UFC from the 90s and were martial artists before or around that time.
Not this UFC, not the shit you see in Walmart right now. Not all that bullshit.
Well, the thing is what happened was a couple of years ago, they made a reality show, Ultimate Fighter, about the guys training to be in the UFC. And all of a sudden, every fucktard everywhere is wearing tap-out shirts and is into it. And it's like, yeah, where were you 10, 15 years ago, asshole? And they're all douchebags. And fucking, a lot of them are jocks who liked other sports. And see, here's the thing, is, like, to me, like, most of the MMA fans I know, people start talking about other sports, and we're like, football, baseball, soccer, really, ball chasing? You just chase around a ball? Why? Just
Wait.
Wait.
The thing where you just
It's like
chase around
hockey.
a
It's like
ball?
hockey. It's like, okay, wait a minute. If you chuck off the gloves and you can fight each other, as long as you don't fall down, you know what I mean? But like everything, and like, but you can't kick and you can't grapple and like everything else. It's like you can't freaking like what is it? Like in football, you can put on padding and run into each other full power, but you can't punch or kick or clothesline or like double leg or anything. You know what I mean? And it's like you're allowed to fight, but only in retarded ways. It's like fuck chasing a ball around. Wouldn't you just rather watch them dudes fight? I mean, most of the time the fans cheer when the baseball freaking bench is clear and both teams are on the mound, throwing punches left and right like a Dutch windmill. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, okay, and yeah, we have crazy fans here like LA Raiders, American football fans. The guys in LA, I've seen a clip of a guy in the stands, an LA Raiders fan, stab a guy with a knife over a fan argument. And also, the other group is the Philadelphia fans. And it doesn't matter what sport it is. What was it? Philadelphia won a championship years ago. They won. And their fans went out in the streets, rioted, and burnt down half Philadelphia. Which is why also being a pro wrestling fan, yeah, I know, fake sports, whatever.
And if you're up in Canada, Vancouver Canucks fans.
Well, yeah, Canadians, some of the most peaceful, reasonable, and intelligent people in all the
And then you
face
look
of
at what
the
happened.
earth.
And then you look at what
Until you put a hockey stick in their hands, and then all of a sudden it's like they get possessed by the ghosts of Genghis Khan and Ivan the Terrible and like Hannibal.
Yeah.
Like,
Just look at what happened in Vancouver this year for the Stanley Cup.
well, it's like look at almost any war. You know what I mean? And the Canadians are like, "Hey, what's this all about?" And then you put some hockey gear on them. Next thing you know, it's like, "Trom, count the dead. You'll have to climb over your own dead to get me, scumbag."
And that's how we'll win the future war against Russia. We just equip Canada with hockey gear.
Oh, no.
They both.
No.
Go, Canada!
You're severely underestimating the orc horde. Here's the thing. I've seen clips of Russians in groups, like two different groups, fighting in a field, and they're not sports fans. They have hooligans that don't have a sport to... I've literally watched riots in where two different gangs decided to fight it out man-to-man, hand-to-hand in Russia, and literally they square off and then decide, well, so nobody gets confused, one side's got to be shirts, one side's got to be skins, and one side takes their shirts off, and then it's on.
Huh.
You're severely underestimating. And remember my whole rant about how, as much as I make fun of the Russians, it seems to me like 9 out of 10 people there know Sambo, their martial art, which is a variation of MMA.
Yeah.
So, yeah, say what you want, but all the drunks in Russia fighting in the streets, 9 out of 10 of them know what they're doing.
Hey.
Fun fact, Russia is our most popular non-English speaking country.
Really?
They're like number 4 now.
Wow. I am
For
now
some
afraid
reason-
of our listeners.
For some reason, I mean, we do tend to poke a lot of fun at Russian stuff.
But I also give them mad props.
Yeah, we give them mad props. We're like, yeah, bro, you guys are fucked up and scary, but that's awesome.
Yeah. Your guys' weather
Oh, yeah.
fucking beats tanks, for fuck's sake.
I know. Well, that's why they say
Yeah.
like, there's
The
like
Russian army hasn't really ever beat anyone. The Russian winter defeated Napoleon and Hitler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but think about it. The people that can survive weather that beats armies, those people are scary.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, they have General Winter and General
Yeah.
Mud.
They're like, hey, look! And then, they'll walk around in that. That's impressive.
Well, depending upon where they live.
And hairy women.
And for some, no, they're not really hairy.
Hold up. being
Some
a
area.
being a connoisseur of pornography, there are certain places and countries where some of the hottest women on the face of the earth come from. Russian models, from what I have seen.
Oh my god.
They're
so
all
impressive.
skinny. They're all ripped. They're all super hot. They all have perfect
I
like
have no
facial.
idea.
Yeah, as long as you keep
Herschel-
them, away from the borscht and the vodka, they do all right.
I could say something really racist here, but I won't.
Do it!
Why not? Just try to stay away from the racial.
Well,
slurs.
the thing is, what? The thing is, I'm not really racist either. Oddly
Yeah.
enough. But I enjoy racist humor, which is
Yeah.
weird.
Well,
But,
then you're just
Well, as long as
enjoying
it's
humor.
funny, you can say it.
Yeah, well, because like I make fun of my own, I mean, like, but no, the Russians, at least part of their people, were originally the Rus, who were like an offshoot. They were like the black-haired Swedish or the black-haired Vikings or something.
Oh dear.
So if you get really far into it, if you go far
Oh,
enough
yeah.
back, they're like Scandinavian or
Yeah, yeah.
Norwegian.
Yeah.
Well, that's the northern Russians. The rest of them basically were just a big freaking meat pile orgy of like gypsies and Arabs and Mongols, and then the Huns, who were the result of Mongols raping all the other people. And
Well, that's what white people are in general. It's just like a pile. Like the Hungarian, most of Eastern Europe came from Central Asia. It's just like one tribe went into Europe, raped and killed. Then another tribe would come in and rape and kill the first tribe and push them further. It was just a constant stream from
It's how
Central
Homo
Asia.
sapiens does it.
Yeah. So it's like to say that that's racist is not really. That's just what.
Well, I'm just saying
happens.
that not all. Well, we think. Well, like people who. Well, I've actually had some personal problems with Russians in this country where I've twice almost been in fights with groups of 4 Russian criminals. I almost got jumped once at a red light by 4 Russian teens. I came out of my car swinging a tire iron and made them jump back in their car and lock the doors. The other time, they were running stolen cars and stealing. They were driving around stolen cars and stealing gas from our gas station, and they kept trying to come in with stolen credit cards. I'm sorry, when you're Russian, you come in with a credit card that has a Chinese name, I'm gonna ask for ID. And when we called the cops on them, the plates would always come back to stolen cars. And the old Vietnam vet once went over the car and wrote down the plate and wrote down the VIN number, and 4 dudes jumped out and tried to get him, and I almost had to pull my knife. And me and Russians don't get along per se. However, people are like, oh, you're racist against Russians. They're fucking white people. How can I be racist against white people? You know what I mean? Like,
You might be ethnically insensitive, but
Well, actually, no.
it's more of a cultural
Our
thing.
Yeah.
entire race thing, gauging off of the amount of melanin content, is pretty insensitive, period.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation about how, like, even the most racist people on Earth, like,
Political correctness is
their
pretty damn
genitals aren't
racist.
racist. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a lot of those.
You mean they're not genetically...
Well, no, like our founding
incompatible?
fathers were slave owners, right? Yet Thomas Jefferson was dipping his quill in
you're saying-
the brown sugar ink. You
You're
know what I
saying
mean?
that all
And,
slavery was the same, though. If you're lumping it in like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I stereotyped all slave owners.
Ah.
How dare I?
Oh.
I'm so
all,
insensitive.
What
to
about
slave
all the
owners.
European indentured servants? They're slaves for a limited
How
amount
about
of time.
our college students now that have student loan debt? Which
Oh,
same
how about
difference.
everybody that lives in the United States, basically?
How about everybody
Except
that
for
lives
the
in
400
first?
that own it.
That's not a whole lot.
How about all the people?
That's my point.
How about anybody who lives in a first world nation? If you live in a first world nation, Like, there's a good chance he had that. So
You're a pretty well-off slave.
Well, and my whole take on it is that what used to be called slavery, they changed to indentured servitude, but it was the same difference. And now we call it credit card debt.
No, but
It's
indentured...
student loan debt, and it's still the
You
same
could
thing.
get out of indentured servitude, though. You had a contract.
what are you?
I'm watching a Russian riot video, Students Rage in London. And it's...
It's relevant because the riot cops are riding ponies.
No, seriously. No, the riding horses, and one of the clip parts of the videos,
Stop
they're chucking
where you
sticks and
are, or we
flailing,
will
they're
be
chucking
forced
rocks and
to.
flailing sticks at the cops, and they're like, oh shit! And the opening of the video is there's a giant line of cops, backed up by cars supporting parts of a fence, holding riot shields and like full riot gear, like keeping people at bay, and they're just jamming against the fence, pushing the entire
Roll
fence
D20
back.
for initiative. Huzzah!
Well,
No, and they're beating on them. These people are taking pictures, holding giant foam shields, and jamming against the fence even more.
Jesus.
Yeah, one of the things I always love is people are like, why do you do martial arts? You know, there's guns nowadays. A gun will always beat martial arts. It's like, watch Riot Cops. Riot Cops literally use the same equipment and the same tactics that the Romans used to quell barbarian uprisings.
Yeah.
You have a shield wall. You approach the mob, and in one-on-one, those big giant barbarians will probably beat the shit out of any Roman centurion or a cop one-on-one. But when you have a shield wall and you push against them, and you have cavalry on the outriding sides, you know, on the flanks, you know, to break them up into smaller groups and dissipate them.
And the problem with a gun is it's very difficult to have much of a continuum between I'm not killing you and I'm killing you.
No, this is really funny. The people are throwing fence chunks at them, like they rip down rip down chain link fence sections and are throwing them at the cops.
But yeah, that's probably not going to be lethal.
No, but it's funny though.
You know, I feel
Like the fence sections from a baseball
Have we
field.
talked about ponies at all?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We got our pony quote in. So anyway,
All 3 minutes of
yeah.
it.
So anyway, just going back to Russia really quick. Do any of you read EnglishRussia.com?
I do.
Yeah, I love English Russia, but I just want to make sure.
Have you seen the pictures of people riding on the subway? And there's like a granny asleep holding like a bag
Holding-
of groceries and an AK-47.
Yes,
For real?
yes,
And then
yes.
you're like, well, that must be the fucking most gangsta-ass granny of all time. No, the next picture is just some normal dude sitting there with an AK-47 on, like a normal dude in normal clothes. Like, I need this for the commute to work.
No, what's really funny is that in their museums, in
Can you
their
do that
art
in the US?
museums. What?
Go to work with an AK?
It all depends. Is it full auto?
I'm going to go with no.
Okay. Are you in an open carry state?
Sure.
Yes,
South
but
South
the
Dakota
cops
is-
will stop you and harass you, even though you have every legal right. Look it up on YouTube. There's a guy who goes walking around his town all the time with an AR-15 strapped on his back, and the cops show up and he goes, "Open carry state," and they're like, "Yeah, but why are you doing this?" And he goes, "It's open
Because I
carry
can."
state. I have every right to do this." And as liberal as I am, I'm very right wing when it comes to gun rights because
Yeah, I
as,
am
a,
too.
as a bullied child and as a martial arts guy, I always believe in your right to self-defense. So, yeah, and then the cops tried to make it about, what does it say?
It says Nebraska, fun in all directions.
Yeah, which we found out because we got lost in Sioux City, and it turns out not all of Sioux City's in Iowa. It turns out part of it is in Nebraska.
Yeah.
But
And you found out which part you just drive over, and there's no.
We drove over some bridge.
have any of you guys heard of have any of you guys heard of Vonya? That
He's got
I just want you to take a look.
Is
bye
that
bye.
another-
What did it say on the bottom?
Bye-bye wheels. Hello, broken.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, I just.
Oh, okay. No, Vonya.
He's tripping.
Vonya is a performance artist group out of Loman.
Okay, I don't think I have heard of them then.
Vonya is Russian for war, and they're a performance art group out of Moscow, and they're famous for. You remember the picture of the drawbridge that, when it lifted up in the morning, had a 120-foot tall penis on it?
That's pretty funny.
do.
No.
They did that, and the funny thing was the way the drawbridge lifted up, the penis faced directly towards the FSS office, which is the modern Russian equivalent to the KGB. And they got in a lot of trouble about it, and there's a famous British graffiti artist, I think Bangley or something, I can't remember his name.
You
But
know the American one, Banksy?
Banksy.
He's American, ain't he?
No, I thought he was British.
Look it up.
I'll look it up. But Banksy raised like a ton of money because they were getting sued by the Russian government for what they did with the penis. And Banksy is English. What are you
Yeah,
looking at?
yeah.
That's
I
funny. It's
saw that
funny.
earlier.
It's just Jesus talking to a goo.
Yeah.
And it says, "Lol, no, I'm not talking about Twitter. I literally want you to follow me."
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Banksy's British. He
Really?
Yeah, and he raised a ton of money to help them out in their legal battle against the Russian government.
Sweet.
They were also known.
There's your costume, Dan. It's just a dude with a fake boner.
Nice.
Oh yeah. When I worked at no, wait, hang on. Side story. It'll take less than a minute.
Okay.
When I worked at Spirit Halloween, oh shit, I named the company. Well, fuck them because the owner was a freaking douche. But anyways, well, the guy who owned the local chain was a drunken piece of shit. Anyways. Oh god, that's like worthy of its own post, which would probably get me arrested
Okay,
if
so
I
your
admit
story.
to half the stuff we did. But no, when I worked there, we had the fake boner costume. In fact, we had one that had an air bladder where you could pump it up and it would raise up.
Ah.
You know what's freaky? We popped open the package thinking it'd be funny to
And
look
there's
at.
like a dick.
Oh, if it was just a dick, that'd be fine.
Okay, then
No,
what?
no, no. What? How would you think the fake boner would look like?
Dick and balls. Why not?
Well, I mean, like
Look like a penis.
details.
Like-
what
like
would
a-
it look like?
Like a
penis.
dildo. Like a very anatomically correct dick. Is it?
Yeah. Like, I figured it's just going to be like a plastic tube. Just a plastic tube with a little rounded
Oh,
tip.
like the thing they insert into people that can't get it up.
Well, no, I figured it was going to be like, you know, like this, like a water bottle or a soda
Oh,
bottle
dick.
with a fucking
Well,
little
like
air
that's if
bladder.
you've got shorts on it.
No, this thing was like a dildo.
Really?
With like little fake veins on it and
Oh
stuff.
my God.
It was so like accurate. It was creepy. It was like I almost like my brain instantly
It's
like,
like,
makes,
is it really a costume, or are you just putting on a strap on?
my thought was probably the CEO like had some hooker snort coke off of it, smack it a rag, and had a plaster cast made of it, and then he's laughing all day while swimming around in his freaking gold coins like he's Scrooge McDuck and tailspin in his money bin, laughing that all over America people are handing his cock in effigy through this little plastic toy that he sold them for $20
Actually,
at Spirit Halloween.
Actually, the season premiere of Family Guy, they made a joke about DuckTales, about the money bin.
Whoa,
What was the
it?
joke?
Peter won the lottery,
Okay.
and therefore he renovated part of the house to become the money bin and filled it with gold coins. And then he jumped in and breaks his arms and legs.
Okay.
He's laying there
Hey,
bleeding.
I've got something to say about this.
That joke is so
That-
old.
That shows how much of a ripoff Family Guy is, because that joke is old. College Humor did it first. They made an anime. They made a little cartoon which showed what happened when Scrooge McDuck accidentally jumped into his money bin, broke his neck, died, and thus led to the downfall of Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Well, if you watch the first season of Family Guy, it's clearly a ripoff of Simpsons. And if you look
Yeah.
it up online, there's one episode he directly ripped off from a Simpsons episode where, like, scene for scene, joke for joke, it's the exact same as a Simpsons episode. And I'm sorry, South Park, oh, Simpsons did it. Yeah.
That was actually pretty fun.
And then Family Guy did it next, the exact same way.
Hey, I'm
Not that he didn't have some funny jokes on Family Guy.
Yeah,
Which he didn't.
I'm reading
Idiot.
reading more about Vonya's.
I think that explains all the gravity was the best joke in Family Guy.
All right, well, let's let him...
I'm reading more about Vonya because the big thing that that made them popular all over the world was the giant 120-foot long tall penis. Some of their other things that they've done is just as messed up. What are you looking at?
It's a guy.
You're distracting
it's
us.
a
You need to
cop.
quit doing that. You need to
It's
quit
a
doing that.
cop at a thing, and it says subtitles. I hope you're doing them wrong. It's like the cat pornography. The reading was only 16.
Okay, all right. Anyway, here's some of the
Captain, there's very low cat pornography readings on this planet.
I know.
Hey, here's some of the other antics Vonya's done. Aside from the giant penis, one of them went into a grocery store dressed with the robes of a Russian Orthodox priest with the hat of a police officer,
It's just a dude giving a grizzly bear a high
Yay,
five.
you're distracting us.
That's-
Knock it off.
and
Oh.
it left the store without paying for the groceries as a demonstration of the invulnerability of these groups. In 2008, they did a work called Fuck for the Hair Puppy Bear, which they staged a day before the election of President Dmitry Medvedev. 5 couples, including one pregnant woman who was 4 days away from giving birth, had public sex in Moscow's Tiramiziv State Museum of
this.
Biology. You heard about that?
That's kind of
I did
funny,
hear
having
about
sex
that.
in the
Yeah.
Museum of Biology.
One final one that I'm gonna do is
Kind of.
in celebration of International Workers' Day.
Simpsons did it.
In celebration of International Workers' Day.
Now I'm kind of sorry I said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In celebration of International Workers' Day, they went to a McDonald's with a box full of cats and proceeded to throw cats at the employees.
What? Wait, why?
To break up the drudgery of a worker's routine day.
We will excite your day!
Simpsons did it. The crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
Simpsons literally did
Yeah.
that. There's a crazy old lady.
Yeah, the crazy cat lady does throw cats at people, but not in protest. It's usually because
Yeah,
she's
no.
very
Crazy.
aggressive.
In protest to
drunk.
drudgery?
Yeah.
We should do that.
Look, go
Although
to
you
McDonald's.
probably get yelled at by the animal rights people.
I would never hurt a kitty.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw
Yeah.
cat, especially into a McDonald's. One might
Throw squirrels!
land in the
Thousands of
fryer
squirrels!
later.
Well, you don't throw it at the fry later.
Oh, speaking of...
Well, it said they were throwing them at the employees, so you gotta imagine that you have like 3. If it's in Moscow, it's a busy McDonald's, so you have 3 cashiers. That's 3 cats. You have 2 people over at the fry later.
What
and
is
then
my
2
whole thing with that too? What did the cat do to deserve that? Like, we're
Yeah.
talking about anti-cat protest.
It
Was
murdered
that?
the person's parents.
These are Russian cats.
So
I just-
Catman?
No, he has too much gadgets.
Oh.
No, they had a
Man
box
just
of
has
live
knives.
cats that they threw at
You're
the.
saying-
Okay,
threw
now
on-
speaking of cruelty against animals, did anybody else notice the 2 articles recently about
Oh.
Asians eating dogs?
I got it.
They've been
The
in the
next
news?
day, there was a new cat nugget item on the menu.
Ha, 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 ha.
Oh.
It was in Moscow, not in Eastern Russia.
You saying that it's not good enough for Russians to eat?
No, I'm saying that this happened in Western Russia, not in Eastern Russia. Eastern Russia is the Asian parts.
But the French people eat
Horses.
and horse.
Yeah, they don't eat cats and
In
dogs.
Soviet Russia, cat eats Asian. That's all I have. That's all I got. It's a lame Yakov Smirnov joke. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
wait, what was this you talking about?
It's more coherent
Somebody get
than my
googling.
jokes.
Somebody get googling so you can back me up with some legit shit. 'Cause I don't
Oh,
feel
right,
like I just
right.
talk out my
There's,
ass.
yeah, there's a.
What do you want me to Google?
There's, I believe it was in Cambodia. There was a news article about how they have a festival of.
No,
of
I know what
eating
you're talking about,
dogs,
the Chinese
and they've made
festival.
it illegal. Now people are pissed. Yeah, it was Chinese. Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
And they made it illegal
Oh.
for people to eat dogs. And they have a festival dedicated to dog meat.
yeah.
The first
and
thing that came up was Cambodians urged to eat more dogs.
Jesus Christ! Okay, Vietnam was in the news today because apparently dog meat is 4 times the cost of chicken meat right now.
Well, yeah.
And gangs of thieves are driving around kidnapping people's dogs, and it's gotten really bad in Vietnam. From what they said, in Vietnam, people don't have dogs that are as beloved as best friends and live in the house as pets like we do here in America.
Would you
But
like
in
to read this
Vietnam,
article?
their dogs are their watchdogs and like an important farm animal.
Yeah.
And when people they name them.
Yeah.
And when people come up and steal them, they get pissed off, and then they know they're going to go die.
Oh, it's just
There are
article.
people.
Oh.
There are people. There's been deaths on both sides because people
But
show
I
up to
think
do
it'd be
that.
funny if he read it.
Okay, just really quick. I'm reading. I pulled up an article about the Chinese city that canceled the dog eating festival, and you gotta love Gawker because look at the fucking Hitler image Gawker used.
A dog wearing a chef's outfit.
Yes,
You can't do that. He needs to wear a hairnet.
yes,
For all you know, he has one on underneath there.
Okay, well, you wanted to read the article
Yeah,
about?
no.
Iron
Cambodians
Chef.
urged to
Secret
eat more
ingredient. Dog.
Depends how much MSG you put.
That's just kind of funny.
Blah blah.
It's just very straightforward. Cambodians are
Boring,
urged to eat more
boring,
dogs to get rid of
boring.
stray dogs.
City dwellers that throw off their traditional snootiness towards dining on man's best friend. City Governor Kepchuk Tema, I apologize if I mispronounce.
Oh, I've been mispronouncing names all day.
Dog-eating
There's-
name.
There's
Tried to persuaded people in English in Phnom Penh to eat dogs is saying in Cambodia daily newspaper. Come on, dog meat is so delicious. Hang on. I'm sorry.
okay. My dad. I will say my dad has had dog meat.
What kind?
I think it was just feral. It was in Korea.
Oh.
And he said he tried it before.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Hang on. Let me read this with the proper voice.
He doesn't like it.
Come on, dog meat is so delicious. The Vietnamese and Koreans love to eat dog meat. Cambodians don't have wine, but more people can enjoy the dog meat with palm juice wine. I actually pronounced the L, so I fucked that up. Anyway, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm offended now for Cambodians. How dare you say they don't have wine, you piece of crap. You, sir, are a hateful person. No, that wasn't funny. The whole dog eating thing had nothing to do. We're not being ready to ease the wine.
I'm just happy that we don't have any countries, Southeast Asian
God, these
countries
riders are
listen to
crazy.
us.
They're chucking fucking
Southeast
flares
A-
at the cops.
Wait, what? Oh, you're watching
He's
that,
just
right?
watching riot videos.
I'm watching riot videos. They're chucking flares at cops.
He left the conversation alone.
I've seen
Okay, you're on YouTube. You should look at videos
No,
of
no,
Russia.
I'm on a website because YouTube shat out on me for the moment.
Go to EnglishRussia.com. You'll love it.
No, but it's hilarious because it's some Russian ultras.
Yeah.
Ultras?
Yeah, like
Ultra nationalists.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the SS Lazelle.
Yes, they have a huge skinhead problem in Russia now, and they have for quite a many years, and they're
Yeah.
trying to kill all their immigrants who move there. Which
Well,
I
it's
love
the
how
same-
we think we have an immigration problem here in the U.S. where nobody can agree on it, and people are moving here.
Hey.
How bad is the rest of the world that people want to move to Russia, which everything in the news leads me to believe is literally a post-apocalyptic wasteland where grannies have to ride the subway with a goddamn AK?
Well, you know what's really fucked up? Man, this is turning into like a real Russian bashing podcast. But anyway,
What do you mean?
Yeah!
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
yeah, she's Russian.
Well, you weren't telling
You were
me.
telling
I
me.
knew.
You were telling me.
Yeah, I know.
Russians
We
are hot.
all knew that Russian chicks are hot, most of them. But
I love how they're using flag poles, like the flag stand poles, as melee weapons.
nice.
Oh my god!
polearm.
They're making Daleks.
Oh, dear God.
Oh wait, is that one of their set? I forgot. Yeah, that's their.
Yeah.
That's their. That was what they were going to use to go to the moon.
So the Daleks are Russian.
But
The Soviets actually left a RC vehicle on the moon. They had a remote control.
yeah, they have remote
rover.
control vehicle. They have remote control
Which
vehicle
everybody says,
on
oh, they left a
Mars.
tank up there. Well, there was rumors they put a gun on the thing, but I don't know if they ever did. But
No,
You would
they.
have to be very good. You only kind of need to nick one of the Americans.
well, yeah.
And they'll die.
Actually, considering the space program on both sides, an accident would probably take care of anybody.
Oh my god! I want to write a story where it's a cosmonaut running up at a guy.
You.
Chop. That'd be kind of creepy.
Somebody had to say it.
Oh wait, where the Apollo mission lands on Mars or the moon,
And then there's like a dude waiting in one of the craters, jumps up out in extremely slow motion.
Well, the Russian cosmonauts were actually armed with sidearms, with pistols, but there's a reason why. Not for Moonanites, but because when they were coming back
When they
down,
land.
they missed, ended up in Siberia, where there's like feral wolves.
oh yeah, they didn't have the luxury of landing in the ocean like we did.
Yeah, because we can spend the money to get people out.
Yeah, we can actually send. We had the power to send a ship to go pick
And
them
also,
up.
thanks to Bruce Wayne and Wayne Enterprises, we have anti-shark repellent.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if there were, because they're still
they work
they're
on
still
wonders.
unlocking the Russian archives, the Soviet archives. I'm wondering, were there any cosmonauts that were killed by like bears and wolves?
I don't know, but I know that their space program. I just watched a thing about this on.
I've heard some pretty fucked up shit about the Soviet space program too, where they've actually like had cosmonauts like their flight plans were fucked up, and they just drift away from Earth.
That looks like a transformer.
And there's actually audio.
Because it's got the big undercarriage.
That's a British Tornado fighter bomber.
But it looks like a transformer.
They're very boxy. Yes.
Yes.
So now they can finally make a transformer that looks like a real jet.
There was one in the 80s that was a tornado.
Really?
He was. There was two different robots that combined.
Ah, yes.
Decepticons.
Yes.
But
Yeah, side. We're getting off the. These are not the droids we were looking for.
yeah, it's
Battle
like,
Chargers.
but it's like apparently there's like there's a audio files from various stations across the planet where they actually
Yep, that's the thing I was watching about.
recorded like these
You were watching that
cosmonauts
too?
are floating away. These cosmonauts are never going to see planet Earth again. They're going to die, and
They're running out of air.
and they're just freaking the fuck out. It's so scary to listen to.
I'd freak the fuck out.
And that's highly symbolic of everything I've ever heard about the Russian system of government. Not that ours is much better, but it's just a bunch of failed bureaucracy. Look at their naval stuff, man. I mean, like Russian families have been pissed for years that
What is that?
their sons went into the
Robots.
naval service.
Yeah.
Like if you
They've
got put on a
already
Russian
got
sub, it was
self-
basically a death sentence because they maintained them so crappily, and then they would just run them into icebergs and shit all the time. There
Well,
was,
you
there was
see-
an incident just a few years ago
Yeah,
where they
I
lost
know.
a sub, and it brought all that back up to light. And
Well, yeah, because what was it? The United States was like, "Look, we know we know your sub broke down. Please let us help you," and they refused help. We were like willing to go down there and be like, "Look, we don't care about your sub. We don't want your fucking piece of shit sub. Sorry, Russian Navy, but we don't want your piece of shit sub. Let us help you get your men back."
actually, the propeller was probably based off of our stealth propeller technology that the one spy stole from us in the 80s and sold to them, and so we already knew how that crap worked.
I want to ask you really quick because I just saw the title of it. I didn't have a chance to read it, but did you hear that? Apparently, this could all just be complete bullshit. But apparently, China is like warning Russia that like America's gonna do something crazy in 2012.
Are we?
Who's warning who?
China's warning Russia that the United States might do something crazy.
Really? I wasn't given a
Yeah,
memo
it's
for
called
that.
the presidential elections.
Let me pull it
We
up.
already did. We supported Georgia in that whole war that they started with Russia, and then they got their asses kicked over.
Yeah.
We already did.
Oh god, that.
So what? Now we're like Sony?
Got you.
I don't know that I know enough about gaming to even.
Oh
know
no!
that-
Sony always like backed the loser in all the format wars. And
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like Sega.
Blu-ray. Well, no, Sega was winning for quite some time.
Did they back VHS or Beta?
Beta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ouch.
And the mini disc
Then how the fuck are they still around?
because they're fucking awesome.
Because they're Sony.
Because they don't back it 100%.
Oh, yeah.
They have their hands in mini pies.
Yes.
They have their dicks in mini pies.
But it was surprising that they finally
Speaking of
won.
which, they're making a new American Pie movie.
I know.
Really?
And Tara Reid's getting less money than everybody else. And somehow that made the news.
Wait, why
Yeah,
is Tara
thanks
Reid
American
in it?
news media, where there are people literally being oppressed and brutalized by police right now for standing up against Wall Street and the rich fucks that have taken over this country and fucking bribed everybody. Oh, no, we gotta worry about how much money Tara Reid and her freaking
You know what? would
deflated freaking fake tits are making. Yeah, whatever. Fuck the
Did
American
she,
media.
I thought she had those fixed. Did she never do that? Really?
I don't care. I do believe she had them fixed.
Oh, what?
Okay, no. Whatever I read was complete.
I do believe they're Firestone radials now, but if she takes a corner in her Ford Explorer too hard, they will pop. She will end up in the ditch upside down.
She got the low
And the guy in the Dodge Durango will hit her, and it'll start on fire. And then somehow a Corvair and a Pinto end up all in that. And Ralph Nader stands on the side of the highway with a freaking crying Indian from the '70s commercial, and they're both
You
just
mean that
bawling.
Italian guy?
Yep, the same way the Indian in the YMCA was not.
Okay, apparently,
Native American.
apparently the
Turn around.
news title I heard came from a bullshit conspiracy theory site. No, what really happened was China warns Russia of a benzene spill.
Oh. Well, that's-
Apparently in Harbin, a bunch of benzene was accidentally dumped into the bay, and it's gonna reach Russia. In a
Have you
couple
ever
weeks.
heard? Have you ever read about Chinese emission standards? We don't
Oh, yeah,
have to
they're
drop
horrible.
poison on their country. Their factories are spewing it out.
all we have to do is make it rain.
They're the worst polluter in the world. They're literally the worst polluter in the world.
Yeah, but their economy's growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think all the people that run businesses in this country want to get rid of all the regulations?
Because
So
then
they
we'll
could
be
do the
like
same
China.
thing because then it's cheaper to run your business.
I tried pointing that out.
When?
Well, online.
Simpsons did it.
Nice!
Sorry, man.
Yes,
I had to.
Actually, yes, they have repeatedly.
Yes, the three-eyed fish.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
The three-eyed fish, and on the movie. The
Nobody
movie had
watched
that squirrel.
that.
I don't remember the squirrel.
The squirrel in the movie.
I'm sorry. When I saw the Simpsons movie, I got stoned on marijuana for the first time, so I don't necessarily remember everything quite correctly.
Oh,
For the first
yeah.
time.
Yeah, mutated.
Really?
I've only tried it
Mutated
twice.
squirrel.
That's a whole nother broadcast.
Mutated
Oh.
squirrel.
What was, I remember the pig, Spider Pig,
Yeah.
and the three-eyed fish is in the movie. He's got a little bit part
It's
somewhere.
like all the
Yeah.
Well,
three-eyed fish.
Also,
Blinky,
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 Homer
Blinky, that's
was
his name.
trying to get rid of the pig's waste he had sitting in the silo in the backyard.
Okay.
But then there's a donut sale, so instead of sitting in line to throw it away, he just dumps it in Lake Springfield and then hauls off to the donut shop, which then somehow pig waste causes a squirrel to mutate.
What did the squirrel mutate into?
It had a whole bunch of eyes.
It's
and
not
turned
like a
all feral.
Pokemon.
Oh, it mutated into...
Yeah.
100 angry eyes.
Oh, like the Argus?
Yeah.
From
I
what,
tried.
Greek
I
myth?
tried. You know, every time I bring this up, the same little douchebag on there, which I say that because he is. Honestly,
What's his name?
He uses the handle PSE.
PSA.
PSE.
PSE.
Yeah.
How original.
Yeah. He
what was that
proclaims he's
reference?
smarter than the Supreme Court, for one thing.
Okay.
Well, now to be fair, 9 out of 10 Americans claim that. So.
He says it's because he can read, because the Constitution should never be changed in any way whatsoever. But anyway, he says
Has he
that...
been punched in the
slavery?
face lately by a black man?
Yes. Has
But
he?
he according to him, the only racists in this country are liberals. And,
Oh, he's one of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says that we can trust corporations to police themselves. We don't need the EPA.
No, we can't. No, we can't, sir. Because
pointed-
just recently in the news, there's a big expose on the Koch brothers, the guys that I don't even understand half the shit they own, but they're the guys who are bankrolling the Tea Party, and they got their hands in with Fox News and all that. And they've been selling chemicals to Iran, which is illegal. And they hire companies all the time to check their books, and these companies go, Jesus Christ, you're selling shit to Iran, and then those people get fired, and then they blackball those people in their own industry, so nobody will ever hire them ever again. And in fact, the Koch brothers, they're one company that does oil. They were tapping into oil reserves underneath federal land that was Native American reservations and stealing their oil. And the federal government sent the FBI to spy on them and catch them at this because they said, you're basically cheating the U.S. out of taxes that you should be paying on that oil. And basically this article went for page after page after page of all these things their company's getting away with. And they said the reason why, and like all these reporters have reported on it, all of these people, all of these whistleblowers have lost their jobs and been like, had their lives destroyed because their reputations were ruined by lies. They try and silence people, and basically what was going on is you can see a pattern. The Koch brothers, some of the biggest, richest people in this country, they're supporting literally with their money some of the biggest right-wing propaganda. Literally what they're trying to do is get it to the point where we take away any regulation off of any company. And that means now they can pollute how they want. They can pay less than minimum wage. They can get rid of OSHA, working safety standards. They get rid of all these things so they can make a higher profit. Yeah, well, guess what? One of the cases that they're being sued over is, I highly recommend the entire documentary series that HBO is playing right now. They're playing a whole series of stuff. They've all been amazing. Superheroes especially. Also, Gasland. Gasland talks about oil fracking, which is being done all over the U.S. now.
Okay, now here's the thing with oil fracking. I do believe Gasland mentions a lot of kind of shady research, because the thing with gas fracking is where they do the fracking, it's so much further down from where the aquifers are that it's not a huge. They're making a bigger problem out of what's already there. And the biggest thing they show is where they turn on the faucet and set it on fire, set the water on fire. What they don't say is that's always been like that. It's always been like that.
Well, the case that the Koch brothers company is getting sued over...
I'm just saying that...
Well, it's a very similar case, because one of the things that was being mentioned in Gasland is a lot of these people that live around areas where they're fracking, they end up with cancer and all these headaches and stuff because they start smelling the smells because some chemicals.
But see, the thing is, gas fracking's only been around for a couple of years, and apparently the smells and the water on fire and stuff has been going on for since people have been there. It's just these areas where they find natural gas. It's just natural gas.
Well, it's bubbling up anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't there a huge danger that now we're tapping into it? There could be a giant leak.
Well, then don't have people live there.
Well, they're already living there.
Well, then don't have them live there.
Okay, well, if you watch Gasland, they're doing this all over the country, everywhere.
Well, then don't let anybody live anywhere.
There's a huge oil boom, or fuel boom, or whatever you want to call it, in North Dakota right now, not that far from us. You can go up there right now, dude. You can sign up, and you can live on a little corporate farm doing oil fracking, and you can make, like, crazy money. They were talking, like, $25 an hour and higher for just simple labor and shit. No, the people working in the cafeteria make $25 an hour.
But see, I'm just trying to say that whatever you're going to say about Gasland and gas fracking,
to be fair, you got to show both sides.
I do not agree with, because the simple fact that gas fracking occurs thousands of feet below aquifers and where it has any real effect against actual people, and that the problems that they're having with the gas leaking out of the ground and the water on fire and stuff like that has already been occurring in those places before gas fracking took place. That's all. That's
well,
all
what I would
want to
tell all
say.
of our listeners and all of our fans is do your own research.
Yeah,
look
do
at
your
both
own
sides'
research.
arguments.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, though, is look at what BP was doing to the oil down in the Gulf. That whole spill happened because they drilled too deep, too fast, and they released a huge underground bubble of oil. They tapped into it, and the pressure was so great, it just came shooting up.
Well, BP has had a horrific safety record. If you look at their refinery down in Texas City, it's had like 3 explosions in the past 10 years.
They constantly have explosions.
BP
and
British
spills.
Petroleum has.
They've had at least 2 to 3 spills that I've heard about in the media after the big one they got in the news, and most people don't even know about the 2 or 3 after.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, what I was trying to say was the one that Koch brothers are being sued about is apparently is an area near where their company was fracking. This brother and sister were in their house. Their parents were gone. They're out in the middle of the country. They got a chemical smell so bad they just had to drive into town because they couldn't stand being in the house anymore. They went out and started a truck or whatever, car, got on the road. It stalled. They went to restart it, and there was so much like natural gas or whatever in the freaking air. When it restarted, it exploded, and it was a giant fireball where they were. And then their parents didn't find them until a couple days later, and there's 2 burnt corpses in a car. And there was like a legit chemical spill due to their drilling into the ground, and they're getting sued over it. And apparently they tried to cover it up. They tried to countersue these people, all sorts of horrible shit.
Yeah, and basically what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm saying that corporations are good and they can do no wrong. It's just, do your own research and, just realize that, corporations are ran by humans, and the humans are just as stupid and fallible.
Well, I'm not even going to go that far. I've seen it when people will do a research paper or, trials of anything and present data and then say the thing that they wanted to say regarding the data.
The biggest problem
you
I have...
do research to prove your theory and just
and if you just look at the data page, it's completely
that's one of my biggest problems with a lot of these pseudoscientists is that they come out with a statement, they come out with a claim, and then find research to fit their claim.
Well, we've had 3 tests done, and everybody agrees with us.
Well, what pisses me off is that most of these companies and most of these Republicans and stuff are saying that, the liberals are lying, and that our company that we paid for, that did research for us, said the exact opposite. Well, it's like, well, now hang on. Here's my whole problem with that. Let's say at the end of the day, because I actually have a friend who's a statistician.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who's one of the most respected statisticians in the country, which is a whole other story. But
I would like some proof of that.
Okay, one of the guys I went to college with, he got a PhD in sociology. He works as a statistician out for one of the hospitals in Portland, Oregon. He's done statistical analysis and papers on healthcare in the U.S., and apparently one of his last papers during George Bush's last term was so damning to the state of healthcare in America that George Bush, like the hospital he works for in Portland, got a letter from George Bush's cabinet asking that they quit having this guy, my buddy, do research. And I was like, wow, as a liberal, having basically, Darth Vader, having one of Darth Vader's cohorts send a letter saying, could you please have Luke Skywalker stop doing research papers because it makes me look bad? There's no better stamp, Yeah. But anyways, here's the whole thing, is both sides can list statistics, both sides can list all their own evidence, and it seems they both have science to back their... So who do you believe? That's the kind of shitty thing in today's propaganda information wars, right?
Well, that's why all these research papers need to be released to the public.
And peer-reviewed.
Yes.
And well, here's my whole thing, is let's follow the money. Like a good cop, like a good conspiracy theorist, like a good detective, let's follow the fucking money.
To be honest, I don't really think that if a research has been peer-reviewed and properly published, it doesn't matter where the money comes from.
Well, no, here's what I'm saying, though, is like, us as normal, everyday, average Joe layman, we can't can we peer review? We're not peers, and none of us here are scientists. I don't know, what the fuck do I know, right? But here's my whole thing. I follow the money. When a liberal tells me there's problems with our environment because of pollution, and then the freaking... and there's big companies polluting, and they're making a profit because they're basically, like, a lot of times what they're doing is they're, instead of fixing the problem so there's no pollution, they just let it happen, and then the fine costs less every year when they get caught. than what actually fixing the problem that causes the pollution would.
Well, yeah.
And now here's the thing, is when the right wing says, oh, well, no, that's bullcrap, they're lying to you, they're stating false numbers, and what they're trying, it's like, well, now, wait a minute, you're actually making money off of this happening. So where does the hippie Democrat, where is he freaking making money off this? And they're like, oh, well, they want to pass a nanny state. They're all a bunch of secret commies, so they basically want to make a country where there's laws where you can't do anything. Like, spill poison into the freaking water? Like, seriously, dickhead? Like, oh, yeah, that's terrible. That's freaking Nazi Germany, right? What an ass clown.
But then why have it so that the fine is cheaper?
Yeah. In fact, that's what I've been saying for years, is we need to quit fining big companies. When big companies break giant laws like that, instead of throwing money fines at them, what they need to do is go like, okay, who's the executives that were in charge of this? They're going to jail. And they're not going to some nice country club prison. They're going to federal pound-me-in-the-ass prison where large black Muslims who enjoy homosexual gang rape are going to go after them. Which, I don't know what passage Muhammad said what, but whatever, No, and I don't care that we're probably going to get death threats now.
Did you really just say all that?
I know.
We've already got death threats. So we had death threats from frickin' YouTube. So
really quick, one side
it's a long story.
One side I'd recommend, if you're into looking up various pieces of research and papers, PubMed.gov is a good place because they're not unbiased. They list all research, detailed description of what the research was, what the results were, who funded it, and where it was published, and who actually did the research. But yeah, that's a good, and it's open to anybody on the internet. You don't have to be from the United States. Anybody in the world can access it. So PubMed.gov is a good place to go.
And that kind of sort of brings up something else that I always say, which is, let's not argue about politics or opinions or the culture war, like who's right, who's wrong. Let's look at the facts. What's happening because of who's in charge and what's going on, and is it good or bad? Let's just straight up look at numbers. You know what I mean? And when then both sides start spitting numbers, well, and I always go, well, who's making a profit? Because the guy making a profit off of it, I don't trust him. The guy who's saying, oh, this is wrong, this is going to cause problems, when he's not making money for saying that, then what's his motive for saying that other than telling the truth? The guy who's telling me, oh, I've got all these numbers, all this research, and I'm also making money off of the deal, I have a harder time believing him.
Well, what if he's able to obfuscate the truth? That's still getting something out of it. Not necessarily money, but leverage, maybe.
Well, that's what they're claiming. Is they're trying to claim that the left wing
but
wants
you said
to make a
only
nanny
money.
state. Like, the only reason they want to control
money
this.
could be the
they want
motivator.
control.
Power is a good motivator.
Well, gee, yeah. Why would they want power though? Oh, they would want power because most of our politicians are bribed through campaign contributions by big corporations. So the only reason these hippies would want to get the vote and get into office would be so they can make the same bribe money the other side's also making from corporations. Really, it's all a shell game. Who fucking cares if there's a Democrat or Republican or friggin' whatever third party?
I say we go back to the old way.
Continue.
He who
Which
kills.
was?
Oh, the old way. The way that Washington said. You guys are fucking retarded if you go with the,
Go with
party
parties.
politics.
Well,
Oh, I thought you were going to say like the old way, like we need to kill some lost tourists
we
in the
could.
cornfield to
No,
Aztec god.
Why would you
and
kill a tourist?
There's like a ginger kid who's
Aztec
like
god.
the reverend of our cult, and you know what I
I've
mean?
actually never seen that.
Me either.
Really?
Just been told about it.
Really?
Yes.
Outlander! We have your woman! That's the only bit I know.
Okay, but anyways, yeah.
How weird is that?
No, I actually agree with you that what we need to do is instead of letting people get campaign contributions and then the richest guy wins the election, and in fact there's statistics that show that whoever raises the most money
That's
usually
just
wins an election.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and then
'Cause
I'm
you need so much money.
yeah,
to
and guess what? Where's a
spread
lot
it.
of that money coming from? I'm sorry, the grannies that are giving you part of their paycheck so you can get in the office and stop abortion.
$5 a year.
Yeah, bullshit. You're getting money from companies. What we need to do is go back to what the founding fathers were doing. You literally have people from all, like, you literally just have straight up, like, Americans. You have people from every walk of life. I like to see Senate and Congress. I like to see, like, a college student, a granny, a freaking homeless guy, a veteran, you know, other than a veteran.
he wouldn't be
I'm from a blue blood family from Maine, and I'm running. Like, let's not have elections anymore. Let's have our country, Senate and Congress, let's have that by jury duty. Let's randomly select people from every walk of life offer them the same salary, blah 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 blah. Let's put them in office. And actually, I came up with this is one of those things. It's not even martial arts. I came up with this idea, and it turns out somebody else already came up with this idea as a possible way to fix the political corruption in this country. It's actually
play American Gladiators.
What?
Because I'd like to see that.
Political gladiators.
No. Have them play American Gladiators. I think it would be fun to watch these people.
Oh, not like fight to the death, but like in foam pits with like big giant. Yeah.
No, it's like and now this old guy has to fucking swing down and knock Sky off of the fucking
Nitro.
No, yeah, boom.
But a couple of things I think. I mean, I'm not one of those people like saying, you know what's wrong with America, or I know what will fix America. I think a couple things that could be tiny procedures to help put America into the United States into a better position to become
like a better power internationally.
The thing is that I'm already. I think I pretty much already think that America, the United States, is a very good place to live. And I don't.
But we actually can talk about the problems we have.
But
for one.
like
sometimes,
like any country,
there are people in this country who have been censored.
But you can say that about anything, anywhere.
Yeah.
But look at other places.
But no, we're supposed to be one of the freest countries on the face of the earth. And that's supposed to be the great thing about this country is you're supposed to be able to say whatever the fuck you want.
Well, no, you're not.
No, you're not allowed to. You can't say whatever you want.
Whoever said you can say whatever the fuck you want?
Yeah, you're saying that the old saying that you like there's a law. You have free speech, but you can't shout fire in a crowded theater. Okay, there was one of the recent HBO documentaries was shouting fire in a crowded theater. I think is what it was called, and it was talking about. It showed the examples of a number of people in this country who have literally been censored.
Yeah.
Free speech is a freaking lie in this country. It doesn't
truly
exist.
It's limited. Go to other fucking countries and see how many people
there are places that are worse,
else.
and there are places that are better.
Yeah. But
I'd like an example of what's better. What's a country that's actually better? I mean, I don't think Australia is. Australia's a great country, but I don't think they're freer than us. I don't think Canada's freer than us.
Canada actually doesn't have free speech per se. Like, have you heard about these people? Like, somebody was crossing the border with manga and anime in his backpack. And
he
got arrested. And he's facing all these fines. They don't allow that shit up there.
Yep.
Yeah, pro tip: if you're American going up to Canada, keep your anime and manga here because they're really hell bent on seizing that and charging people.
Hell, I saw a British guy on YouTube went to Japan for a while, accidentally snagged up a porn magazine and took it over, not knowing that. No, to I think it was in northern England, but you're not supposed to take that. He didn't know that it was porn at the time. He grabbed it for his brother because it's like, hey, this is what my bro wants, Turns out to be not the thing.
I'm holding it for a friend, Dad.
But anyway, what I was saying was one of the many things.
You all right? I learned it by watching you.
One of the things I think will help satisfy most people and really just kind of cut out a lot of bullshit would be one thing: campaign finance reform, where private fundraising is either severely limited or banned outright. And
if you want to give money, it goes in one big coffer.
What happens? It could be like just an extra tax, a federal tax that's levied on everybody, and then whoever wants to run for office, depending on what they're running for, gets a set amount of money. It's like if you're running for president, all right, here's $150,000. Go campaign. Or if you're running for House of Representatives, here's $50,000 from the federal government and $20,000 from the state.
But then what happens to the rest of the money if you don't spend it all?
It just goes into a trust.
Okay.
To be used in the next year.
The problem would be people that want to go run and then spend very minimal and then try to keep the rest of it.
Well, it's $150,000. What the hell are you going to do with that?
I don't know. I could do a lot with $150,000.
Buy a lot of phones.
Well, I think
that's Jesse.
Well, I think the speculation, one thing that could be done with that is that any money you have to actually keep track because it's not your money.
Well, yeah,
it's the public's money. That means you have to keep track of it, and you have to detail all your spending. And
so you have to
money
prove receipts.
Yeah, you have to provide receipts, and then any money left over,
there will probably be some ways around that.
There would be loopholes.
There is some stuff that happened around here. One of those last local campaigns, what is it? The one anti-abortion campaign or whatever. got a secret donation.
Oh yeah, Roger Hunt.
Well, I don't even know half what that's all about.
How
But
do you get
apparently
a
it's
secret donation?
Roger Hunt got this big ass donation from a secret donor.
So, an anonymous donor.
Yeah, anonymous
which
donor.
is
An
technically
anonymous
illegal or something. You have to
beneficiary?
list where it all comes from
Yeah.
because
Really?
a company can't give money or something. And
Yeah.
apparently it came from like his company or one of his buddies' companies or something.
So you can't just have an anonymous benefactor.
Well,
I don't even really understand half of it, but apparently people are all butthurt about it.
No, but
And here's
it's
the
like,
thing,
you're cheating in the card game.
And here's the thing, I don't even have to know what this is one of the few things where I can be ignorant about this. You know what's shitty about that whole deal? It's politics, it's money, and something dirty happened. Oh, welcome to fucking America. Why do you think everybody's pissed off?
Because you can't pay for sex, even though you could pay a chick for other things, and then she could have sex with you, as long as it's not a direct thing, it works.
It's like gambling in Japan, like in the pachinko parlor.
Yeah, you go across the street or down the road.
With your balls.
Go back.
Yeah.
Well, you actually trade in balls for prizes, and then you can sell the prizes to the dudes that are across the street.
Yeah. Anyway, what?
It's a complicated shell game to get around the law.
Yeah.
Yes.
With like prohibition, like we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And like how you can, there are legal brothels here in the U.S. in
Yes.
certain parts of Nevada.
Yes.
Yeah. As long
But
as I think
those are very cut and dry where they are, which is nice.
I think it's
Actually, there's a lot of gray area stuff
Really?
going on.
yeah, it's like Clark County, Nevada. It's illegal because the law is I think as long as the county population is under 400,000.
Yes.
Then it's legal.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like, Nevada is growing so fast
Yeah,
that now...
but the laws are still there. It just means that they have to relocate.
Yeah, or update the law, like bump it up to 1.5 million or something.
Yeah, but that's a slippery slope. Eventually, people will be having sex with dogs and cats and marrying refrigerators.
And I think that's perfectly fine. If
Marrying
you
a
want,
refrigerator?
if you want to marry a refrigerator, go
They
ahead.
have such a short lifespan.
They actually last a long time.
Depends on the fridge.
My wife is great, but she can't make a sandwich.
I mean, I'm of
She'll
the
keep it nice and fresh for you, though.
I'm of the opinion as long as whatever you're marrying,
Can give consent.
yeah,
Can give consent.
yeah. Which
Well, now,
technically
hang on.
would mean, okay, no, then they can't marry the refrigerator.
Hang on. Give me 5 minutes on this one because I got a good one on this one.
Okay.
I got
Our
a good one on this one.
refrigerator has been programmed with a random number
No.
generator.
I've literally seen this argument.
I
Is
have been
that
programmed to love
having
you.
grown up in the church around a lot of Republicans and around a lot of religious people, and okay, here's the thing. Right now, we have this big debate in this country about gay marriage, and the right wingers and the religious are like, hell no, we shouldn't let gays get married. Blah blah blah. It's morally wrong, and we don't care what you say. And it's like, okay, well, and they're like, oh, here's our argument: is if you let them do that, next thing you know, pedophiles, child molesters are going to ask for their rights. And then after that, people are going to want to marry donkeys and dogs and cats and fuck them. And we've already had incidents in this country where people got fucked by a horse to death and whatnot.
Mr. Hands.
We have perverts and all sorts of stuff. And
And it's not just the U.S., it's all over the place.
Yeah.
did I ever tell
Catherine
you
the
my whole
Great
thing
fucked
about
a horse
Mr.
once,
Hands?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah,
Really?
I know about Mr. Hands.
Well, no, did I ever tell you my whole thing about that? They did a documentary movie about the guy
Yeah.
who got butt fucked to death by a horse, who had a ranch where he ran a secret
Wait.
animal fucking club.
Did he agree to be butt fucked to death?
No.
Ah.
But he
But
actually...
he was an engineer at Boeing.
He knew it something had gone wrong, and he didn't go to the hospital.
Because he worked for Boeing.
And also because he knew they were going to figure out at the hospital that,
Isn't
gee, how'd you
bestiality
perforate your bowel
illegal?
wall?
Is it illegal still?
At the time
Most
of
places,
it,
yes.
when
I just thought
when
the
that
horse
happened
fell
to
on him.
Mr. Hands, when he got killed, it was
That makes it even
there was
worse.
no law in Washington State against bestiality.
Okay.
After that, there was a law.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
That was the
if
type
it
of-
would have been outed, he would have been fired from Boeing.
Yeah,
Really?
Boeing would have.
really?
Yeah, he wanted to protect his job.
So
and that's why he's
taking
dead.
away the sexual liberties of the random.
Well,
horse
see, here's the
fucker.
thing. He could have sued that they had no legal grounds, but then who the fuck is... What jury is going to take the side of a guy who likes to fuck horses?
Well, that's the thing, though, is that he would have been in the right then.
Well, no.
To be fired for sexual deviancies
Well,
that aren't even illegal deviancies.
my little side trek here was that the whole thing about Mr. Hand is somebody did a documentary movie about this guy.
Really?
Now, here's the thing. The idea that some guy in this country got fucked to death by a horse, semi-willingly, that's not the crazy part to me. The crazy part is, to me, that some guy had a meeting with producers and got money to make a documentary movie about the guy who got butt fucked to death by a horse.
The guy who made Human Centipede got venture capital for it to make
Yeah,
Human Centipede.
I would
movie
love.
is disturbed.
You think of all the shitty, as fanboy nerds, all the crappy like Transformers movies and crappy Star Wars reboots and all this bullshit we've gotten.
So you hate George Lucas too?
Well, no, hang on. Here's the thing: all these crazy production meetings,
Yeah.
rich Jews in Hollywood, and like 3 rich white guys and 1 rich black guy, all decided to give money to help all this happen, right? But it's like, how the fuck do you pitch a documentary about a guy got butt fucked to death by
Hey,
a horse?
you want
and
to know
get the
some-
money?
Well, it's actually kind of an
That guy must be the
Yeah,
best salesman in the world.
I would actually be more interested in watching that.
Yeah,
than
that's what
watching-
I was saying
Yeah.
like years ago. I said I want to see a documentary about that production meeting and that guy pitching it. That guy has got to be the greatest salesman of all time.
Well, yeah, I'd find that documentary about Mr. Hands more interesting than any of the tripe being put out.
But now back to my original thing is
Wait,
the
what
argument.
are
The
we
argument
doing
is if we let gays get married, the next thing you know, oh well, people are going to want to live in triads, and the Mormons, the really extreme splinter
Yeah.
Mormon sects, are going to want to have multiple wives again. You're going to want swingers are going to be able to do whatever they want. You know, if
Well,
you're gonna,
swingers
you're gonna
can't do
eventually you're
whatever
going to
they
have people marrying animals, and it's all wrong, and there's a moral line we have to draw somewhere.
Thank God he's going
Well, now wait a
to
minute.
us.
Now here's the thing: there are some perverts and stuff that will argue that, well, why can't I marry an animal? It's letting me do this, so obviously it's giving consent. And then there's the whole thing where like, let's
don't
No, it's
know,
not.
man.
hang on, let's have
No,
that
it's
argument.
not.
Let's have that argument. I've had this argument with people on both sides,
Yeah.
and I have a completely different take than anybody. And my take, it pisses off everybody, and that's why
Okay,
I'm
well-
proud of my take. Is that okay? Well, the argument against that is well, how do you know that animal's giving consent? Because it didn't bite you or claw you?
Yeah, that brings up the whole drunken women not being able to be in the right.
Well, then it's a whole
mindset.
thing where, like, okay, its IQ is less than that of a retarded person, and they can't give consent either, right? Or a drunk woman
How
can't.
do you administer an intelligence quotient test to an animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's
Also, they never had the chance to go to school, so then do all the
well,
shit
here's
go
my
to
whole take on
public-
which pisses everybody
elements.
off is that okay, well, apparently people, because remember we have laws against fucking kids and stuff. Well, why?
Yeah.
Well, because they're not smart enough to know the consequences yet. Hang on there.
That usually is. The
I know
given fact.
20, 30, 40-year-old people
That
that
are
don't know
still-
the consequences
no.
of drug use and fucking around and have a bunch of illegitimate kids.
But because they're just got the time served, I guess they get to do it.
Yeah, I know. And my whole argument is that we're really animals ourselves. We're just monkeys with PlayStations. You know what I mean?
Well-
We're monkeys with some cool sticks.
We're monkeys.
You know what I mean? And we don't want to admit that we're not still monkeys anymore. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
a monkey. I don't have a tail. Boosh. Great ape.
When I cage fought, my nickname was
Boosh,
Yeti.
common ancestor, we're not related to either, except through common ancestor.
Well, yeah, but he said we were
Great ape.
monkeys.
Oh yeah.
I'm-
We're just
We're missing the tail.
Yes.
monkey.
We're just nitpicking
and-
now.
Actually, there are still people who.
That
have
stare you
tails.
gave me was
Yeah.
hilarious.
They-
What?
That stare you
Oh, I
gave
was
me.
trying to think of something to say. I couldn't remember the word though.
Nitpick?
No. It was something to.
Okay,
do with
look at this. Look at one of the smartest, most successful people ever in our country, Bill Clinton, who was our president, who actually
He had sex with a.
he was leader of the free world, and he was like half fucking a fat chick with cigars or whatever, and fucked up everything. Fucked up everything he tried to accomplish politically. Almost fucked up his marriage.
I actually didn't
embarrassed his
understand why
daughter.
that happened.
He ruined that fat chick's life. Although
Yeah,
he
she
helped
wrote a
her sell
book.
handbags, which that was give and
Yeah.
take.
Well,
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Is that guy was smart, educated, intelligent, of age, and yet he couldn't figure out, when and where not to fucking stick a cigar in someone's hoo-ha. You know what I mean?
Well, that's good.
Maybe
It's
we're
good.
just fucking animals, and we don't want to admit that we're monkeys with PlayStations.
Man,
And that pisses off everybody on both sides. Like, how dare you? Arr."
Well, I'm of the opinion
Gorillas
if
with
it
PlayStation?
can reason and give consent, then go ahead. You can marry it, you can fuck it.
So dolphins.
Can
No.
they give consent? Can they give verbal or written?
They can do a lot of verbal stuff.
And that's the argument.
No,
That's
all
the
you
argument
gotta
on
do-
their side. It's like Coco,
Oh, yeah,
what
the
was she, a
monkey.
gorilla or whatever
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they taught sign language?
Yeah.
And like she had a pet kitty and,
And
it
she
died and she was
actually
sad and they
had-
got her a new one. She's like
Yeah.
Coco happy and
Yeah.
she would ask for different types of food and
She
they're
can
like
actually like.
and
verbalize.
there's been a lot of also argument that she was coached and she wasn't really saying those things she was saying. But here's the thing, it's like, okay, well obviously sometimes through that
But
or
the
different
possibility
symbols
is
we've been
what
able to
if.
somehow almost communicate with certain animals. Well, does that mean on some level they could be like, yeah, climb on.
Like
it's
that
cool.
horse that
it's
can do
cool.
multiplication and shit.
Okay, well then that leads to some very scary freaking questions. And here's my
What
thing:
is human?
Well, what is sentient?
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a minute. What if a pedophile wants to fuck a kid, but say let's find a kid who's a prodigy and has like 150 IQ and is technically smarter than the adults around them? Can that kid give consent now?
But no, because he didn't have time served yet.
Yeah. And to me, at the end of the day, none of it matters. If you think that you're somehow better than the animals around you, you're not. Although I still don't think you should be sticking your dick in them. But,
but that's just infringing upon another life form. Pretty easy. You can easily say that. If the sheep can't bleat yes, maybe you should.
Well, it's just my whole thing where it's like people on both sides want to argue, don't equate gays with fucking animals, and I want a fucking animal, how dare you, and it can give consent, oh no it can't. And at the end of the day, maybe we're all wrong. Like the whole argument where people talk about how it's terrible in the Middle East, they cut off women's clits and they don't let them drive and they don't let them leave the house or get educated or get proper health care. They can't leave the house without a male relative. I'm like, hold on. We give our women every right in the fucking world here. What do? They go out and they get fake boobs and they fuck everybody in sight and they turn into fucking scumbags. Look at Jersey Shore. Yeah, them bitches need to be in burqas, okay?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Maybe both sides are wrong. Maybe there isn't no good cause champion. You know what I mean? We're just monkeys with PlayStations.
We don't endorse any of this.
Wait,
disclaimer.
Endorsing what?
We don't endorse pedophilia. We don't endorse bestiality. We don't endorse
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. We do not endorse
Mormonism.
How would somebody get the idea that we were endorsing it, though? Just
I don't know.
Some
dumb person is
going
to hear that.
Yeah, true.
Some dumb person is going to hear that and think that he's endorsing
all of those things. When actually, what I was saying was, I'm against everything.
Yeah,
I'm against everything.
And I say, only fuck Rarity if Rarity lets you fuck her.
No, because what you just said gets us right back to here.
No.
Where we were talking about.
Then now people think bronies are the new freaking anime fan. Oh, you're all into hentai. It's not all hentai. Like 5% of anime is hentai?
I don't care. Fuck those people.
Actually, Google. I would bet that it's only about one.
Well, I'm sure they.
Yeah, but that's the bad reputation.
At most 1%.
I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck what other people have to say about bronies. If they want to think, they can think whatever they think. It's not true. Yeah, there's like 1 or 2% who draw My Little Pony porn and get really turned on by it. Yeah, sure there is.
But
what about the others who are drawing that as a joke?
Yeah.
You know
it's
what I mean?
it's like that one chick, Cartoon Lion. She does that whole Futashy thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's doing it as a joke.
Oh, you know what I found really funny though?
What?
Apparently, doing writing down or drawing something disturbing is still illegal in some states.
Really?
Yes, and there's a reason why is because a lot of people that were into kiddie porn, CP and stuff, were like, I'm just going to draw it using computers or draw it as art, and now you can't do anything, and I can still distribute it. Yeah. And in some places they've gone after it, and some they haven't.
No, but I still thought it was funny that if it just disturbed somebody, and there are some things that disturb me, and I will
there's plenty of shit that disturbs me.
But it's funny that me saying that disturbs me, and being in all seriousness,
gives you the right in certain
they could
states.
possibly get arrested for it, and that kind of sucks. Because who draws those lines, too?
And this leads to an even bigger debate and argument and philosophical, existential, whatever discussion. Me and a friend were talking about all this on Facebook, and we're both Star Trek fans. We're both Trekkies. Huh. And we're both really we're both sci-fi fans. We're both really into analyzing the themes of science fiction and what it's really saying and where we're going in the future. And we were talking about all this, and it's like, well, now, wait a minute. At what point are, a lot of, well, the thing is the people that argue that gays are just as bad as pedophiles, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, is the people on the gay side argue that, well, it's not a choice. It's actually something that's biological, either genetic or whatever, that's making them make this choice, so that they're actually like another, orientation. It's not that they're a deviant.
Well,
then the people on the other side are arguing, well, now eventually the pedophiles are going to ask for the same rights, and they make the same argument. And my friend remembered a couple of Star Trek episodes where they showed different cultures where they didn't put people in jail. they gave them brain surgery or cybernetic implants and basically took bad parts of the personality, like alcoholism and drug abuse and stuff like that. That I'm sorry, but like Alcoholics Anonymous and all these like anti-addiction places have like 90% failure rates. It's like I'm sorry, but it's like as human beings, as an entire race, we're doomed to be addicted to one thing or another. And it's like some people, unfortunately, the thing that they're addicted to hurts other people. Whether it's CP or actually finding a real person or freaking, alcohol or drugs or violence or whatever it is. It's like, at what point are we going to be able to fix that using medicine and science? And then it's like, well, now hang on, then we shouldn't be trying to throw these people in jail and punish them. We should be trying to fix them. Now, right now, the current level of science, all the research shows we haven't been able to fix sex offenders, ever. And I don't even know why we even try. But at one point, we will have the ability to do that to the human brain. And it's great, because think about it. Like, I'm a fucking big, giant fat ass, you know what I mean? Like, well, I'm a fat ass with muscles, but that's a whole other point. I look
so what, eventually you'll just be able to be like...
Yeah, I don't want to overeat anymore.
Inject me with a retroviral that makes me
or put a
the
computer
person that
program
I
in my
want
brain
to
so I have the willpower to be a vegan. You know what I mean?
I would say a
want to be a
retroviral
vegan?
would be better. That way it's a permanent change.
But
You
now
don't
here's
have
the
to worry
scary
about
thought:
the-
is who's going to be in
Yeah.
charge of these companies and the government at the time?
And how
Who's
much
to
are they
say
gonna
they're not going to
charge?
be like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not a Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to fix that.
Then you have the chance of maybe somebody gets into it, viruses the whole retroviral program,
And we
then
all
of
end
a
up
sudden,
Mormons.
Everybody's a sleeper agent. You have what's it called, the Manchurian candidates all over the fucking place.
Do you follow the will of Landrew?
Then all of a
I'm a
sudden,
sub-genius, praise Bob.
I hate Bob.
If there's any other sub-geni out there listening, please give me a shout-out.
Who's Bob again?
J.R. Bob Dobbs, greatest
no
living
idea.
salesman, the Slack
You were
master.
gonna give me the book, weren't you? Once.
Well, my super hipster friend has the first book.
Oh,
I
okay.
still have his third book,
Yeah.
which I gotta get back to him.
Actually, I was referencing one of the episodes I thought you were talking about. That
Well-
one where they landed on the cowboy world, where all the people were basically lobotomized by that computer program.
What, the Enterprise episode?
Yeah, well, Star Trek episode.
They've done so
Old
many
school.
different times where it's like, oh, gangster world, oh, Wild West world, oh, Roman world, but it's the modern age.
Well-
oh, Nazi world.
The underlying themes are very similar for the
Yes,
mind control stuff.
it's in
it's
fact.
this. Oh, look! It's the second world where the war between America and the communist and the USSR ended in nuclear war.
Well, if anybody's into role-playing games, I used to, in the 90s, play a lot of Cyberpunk 2020, the role-playing game. And they have a 3rd edition version of it, Cyberpunk 3.0. And in their version of the future, they updated the game. In their future society, they have what they call alt cults, which stand for alternative cultures. And you have a bunch of them. You basically have cultures of people that come together because they all basically like the same memes.
So it's like the internet existing as planets.
Kind of, but it's also a good way of looking at that's what culture is. Oh, well, you like white people and Jesus? And guns? And killing people who aren't white and like Jesus?
I like how
Well,
your
then you
list
should move
trails
down
off.
south.
Really? Down south.
Mhm.
Why didn't you throw second cousin Marion in there? Or first cousin Marion?
Well, technically, we stole that from the British, so, you know.
Well,
And
we
a
stole
bunch-
a
a
lot
bunch
of
of-
shit from the British.
Yeah.
You can marry second cousins, can't you?
Yeah.
I've seen studies that show that you can marry your first cousin and have kids and it's
Yeah.
fine. I've also seen some where it,
But
it does not work out.
Legally.
No, I'm talking about, like, will the kids be fucked up flipper babies?
No.
Supposedly, there's been studies that show that if you marry your first cousin, there are really no genetic defects with the children.
But he's talking
However,
about
I've also seen evidence that in
societally.
communities where that happens a lot, they have problems
Well,
that
yeah,
no one else has.
but
No, I'm talking
that's
like legally.
with
it's
multiple
societally.
generations of inbreeding in the first cousin thing. If it's just an isolated event over here in a good gene pool, it's not
Well,
going to do anything.
Though,
I'm talking legally and societally.
well, and I don't care.
It'll be
And let me
frowned
tell you
upon.
why. It's because my cousins are disgusting.
Yeah.
So when I met my female cousins, they have giant asses, and they're all crazy, and they're all Jesus freaks, and I have no desire to stick my penis in any of them, so I don't really have to worry about those laws, because nature itself went,
So the
nope,
answer
you're not
is-
ever going to be tempted.
He doesn't
I'm
know.
gonna step out for a couple minutes.
I have no idea what I'm saying at this point. I'm so...
I think it's time for
You
a break.
just, I think it's time to end because it's nearly 8.
No, you think we should just end it?
Probably.
Well, Dude, we were teasing them at the beginning of the show with the
Oh,
Transformers
yeah.
thing. Did you still want to do that?
The what?
The Transformers.
Oh, did you want to do a Transformers rant or a...
About
I don't remember. What was it?
which
about?
Transformers? The shitty Bay movies? The shitty cartoon that's going on right now?
Anything. You think you could fill like 20 minutes with it?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I'd have to think.
Okay.
How about we just save it for next week?
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Did we talk about ponies enough? I feel like I just...
We started off with ponies.
Okay,
Yeah, and
listen,
then I said Rarity was a cum dumpster. And, yeah.
Also, a lot of this
We
podcast
mentioned
has
ponies
nothing
like
to do with
4
ponies
times.
ever.
Oh, and let me say one last thing about the Russians. Yes, I've said a lot of horrible stuff about you, but I've also said stuff about how, like, yes, you're a bunch of violent, drunken orcs, but however, you're fucking goddamn barbarian orc hordes. You're fucking awesome. So basically...
And the women are hot.
Yes, so basically, drunken fighting Russians, all the horrible stuff that we've said about you, basically, you're the new black people in this country. All the white kids don't want to grow up to be black rap stars anymore.
Russian?
We don't have wiggers anymore. They're all like Eminem and all these guys that are talking black and
Oh, yes,
you
they
know.
are.
No.
Go to high school.
No, yes, I know, but these kids are stupid. They ought to start talking. They ought to start wanting to be Russian and dressing like Russians and putting on fake accents and listening to Russian hip hop. Because I'm sorry, the drunken Russians and the granny riding the fucking metro with the AK is badder ass than any Compton gangster you will ever meet.
If you really want to be badass, all you gotta do is trek through the Ukraine by foot.
Ukraine, yeah.
And done! You're the biggest badass that played Fallout ever.
Seriously? What?
The Ukraine? No, not the Ukraine.
No? Where then?
Siberia?
You're talking about Ukraine is like a modern country. The Ukraine's
there's
more
some
like
places.
Ukraine is more like fucking Minnesota.
With Norse people?
No.
Well, remember the Rus? They're from the other tribe, the dark-haired tribe that split off. So kind of.
That's one
No,
of
the Ukraine geographically is more like Minnesota.
I got some statistics to say you don't.
I mean, the only real anomaly is Chernobyl. You know,
If you trek through that area, that would be crazy.
I don't
you
think
die.
so.
You
No, you
die.
wouldn't.
I've seen some shows where people have gone there and they are only allowed to stay there for so long wearing suits.
Yeah, all them human rights shits and whatnot. Go there.
Give me enough money, I'll do it.
Stay a week. You know what's really creepy? The Chernobyl carnival section that's still there. Oh my god.
Oh god, that one picture of the little toy train
Yeah.
with the face.
Just completely abandoned and then...
yeah, it's like
No, Destination Truth, the one show that goes looking for Bigfoot and ghosts and shit on Sci-Fi. They went there into the irradiated part wearing suits with rad counters. Now he had so much time to be in there, and they supposedly had ghosts messing with them the whole time. Not that I necessarily believe in that, but I have a whole other rant about that, which we'll save for.
But the fact that the sarcophagus is about ready to collapse, and if that happens, it could cause major damage to European crop yields. Yet none of the countries are willing to put in the $2 billion to build a new one.
And people wonder why I'm against everything and everyone. Yeah. Is there?
It's like the radioactive dust from this sarcophagus collapsing is going to ruin our crops. Probably cause starvation in millions of people, but we don't want to pony up the money.
Oh, ponies!
Hey, that's another reference.
It's like the Ukraine doesn't have the money. Ukraine doesn't have $2 billion to spend on that. Yeah.
So who wants to go for a hike through Chernobyl?
I'd be willing to go.
I do it.
If
I wouldn't go through near the power plant.
Oh,
I go through.
Why, you're afraid of being
Pripyat.
attacked by Transformers?
I'm afraid of being attacked by like giant mutant things.
Bayformers? Yeah, I would not want to have anything to do with
No, I'm
Bayformers
talking
ever.
about just going through like Pripyat.
I wonder if Iron Man 2 is still here.
Iron Man
Yeah, I would
2?
like to watch it. I've not seen Iron Man 2 yet.
We watched
I've seen
it,
Iron
and I
Man
was
2.
like, we all have... Why did you bring it again? Oh, yeah, because Dan hadn't seen
Oh, hey,
it.
I brought that Green Lantern, the second animated movie we have not watched
Okay.
yet.
But you have to watch Iron Man 2.
All right.
So are we done here?
I think so.
Okay, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Pony Brigade team.
Wait, and did you record when we were talking about the contest for the?
Oh,
games?
right. Well, let me just get this shout out really
30
quick.
seconds before the end of the thing. It's like that thing. That
Oh
thing!
yeah.
A thing and a thing?
No, I want to give a shout out to.
It's basically this whole time, all we've been eating is like our dessert and like meat and like snorting cocaine, and it's like the last minute. Oh shit! That piece of broccoli.
So
we gotta have that.
So 1920s breakfast.
Yummy.
Meat and eggs.
Laudanum.
But I want to give a shout out to the Pony Brigade Team Fortress 2 servers, especially 24/7 not Ice World server, because they've got some really awesome people on there, especially because he's the only one I friended. So the two people I friended so far from that server, Scootaloob and Dynamic Entry, they're both fucking awesome.
I think I'm against Scootaloob just because of the name.
Just because of the name Scootaloob.
Yep.
But Dynamic Entry is
It
pretty
brings
cool.
one very particular image to mind.
My first thought was, what if Galoob, the toy company, had made My Little Pony? And then I thought about it for a minute, and I'm like, oh yeah, Lube and underage pony. Yeah, cool. but I'm happy that my brain first went to action figures and toys.
I don't even
I'm
remember.
so proud of myself right now.
I apologize. It's nothing against you. The name just throws me off.
But yeah,
But Dynamic Entry, he must play like, Tom Clancy Black Ops and Call of Duty. And all that
actually, I
crap.
don't know. Let me see.
Dynamic Entry is like a SWAT team.
It's Tom
term.
Clancy's Splinter Cell.
But no, the great
Black
thing
Ops.
about Steam, is it tells you
Oh my God.
anybody on your friends list, you can see how much they play of each game.
That's funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So far,
It's kind of creepy and it's also kind of cool.
no. Past 2 weeks, he's played 39 hours of Team Fortress 2, 1 hour of Killing Floor, 1 hour of half hour of Left 4 Dead 2,
Just like that game.
Quake 3 Arena. So he's mostly TF2. He's not.
Well, and also, to be perfectly fair, it is the interwebs. So for all we know, he's some 12-year-old's like,
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Oh.
Because on Team Fortress 2, you can actually hear other people talk. He's from Wales, and he's actually a nerd.
Oh.
He's from Wales, and he's a nerdcore rapper.
In my genealogy,
Cool.
I think
Yeah.
I actually have a little bit of
Oh,
Welsh
here we
blood,
go.
So,
Galoob was actually bought by Hasbro in 1998.
so was Kenner in the 90s. That's why they own the rights to
So Hasbro's
Mask
like
and
the only thing ever now.
Mattel. They're still Mattel.
I don't know, man. I can't remember any good Mattel things.
Mattel has a Barbie.
I don't give a shit about either of those.
Mattel also has a He-Man line, but only for collectors over the internet.
I
They
don't
do
care
have a
about
couple
the
figures in the
He-Man.
stores.
Communist
I don't care.
I know. I was looking through Dynamic. What the fuck is his name?
Dynamic Entry?
Yeah, Dynamic Entry. Yeah, he's a Welsh nerdcore rapper, and he was actually doing some lines on Team Fortress 2, and it was pretty awesome.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, he wasn't.
What?
doing-
The second I thought was.
Can I say something about the Welsh real quick? And I am part Welsh, apparently.
Oh, we were making a lot of fun of him for being Welsh. I was saying he.
Well,
Oh, no, here's the thing. Apparently, I have a tiny little bit of Welsh blood myself. And when I'm at Ren fairs, all of us American Yanks, we all put on fake British accents, and then, the people with, like, Scottish or Irish blood walk around in kilts, and we all tell, Scottish and Irish jokes back and forth. And
Really? When was the last time? I haven't heard it.
You need to come to a Ren fair sometime. So, anyways.
Wait.
You have the
Those
Scots
things
and the
that are
Irish talking
mixed
shit to
up.
each other, the Brits looking down on everybody, and we're all Yanks, so who knows what the fuck. We're probably all just Dutch. But anyways, when it comes right down to it, the thing I always bring up is when they're making fun of the Irish and the Scotsmen, and I'm like, yeah, okay, well, they say the Irish are all drunks, and they say the Scots are all freaking...
And the Welsh fuck sheep.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know.
they say the worst stuff about us, so, you know what I mean? Like,
And when they talk, they spit all over the place, and then they fuck sheep.
basically.
And Steam user Communist Unicorn, I just added you as a friend because your name is Communist Unicorn. And you got a picture of Celestia with the deal with it shades on.
Oh, you want to know what the funniest thing that I thought was?
You should do Celestia's Che Guevara, that would be much funnier. Or Stalin, or Lenin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's.
Or Karl Marx.
If you're Russian, you can't be Stalin.
Show us your marks.
Nah.
Khrushchev? Did somebody say Khrushchev?
Well, I
No
think.
one
Oh,
said
okay.
Khrushchev.
What was the contest
I
we were
did.
gonna do?
You were going to gift somebody
Okay.
on Steam.
As soon as I'm sure some of you know, if not, look it up. The Humble Indie Bundle. It's a bunch of really good indie games that are put into this package, and you pay whatever you want for it, as long as it's at least like $4. You can pay whatever you want, and then you decide where the money goes, whether it goes to charity or to the developers or both, and you get all of them. You can download them however you want on Mac, Windows, or Linux. You can even download them within Steam, which is awesome. And what I did was I already own all the games that they're offering this time around. So what I did was I purchased a gift receipt to gift it to somebody else. So we decided for a contest.
You send in emails. And
Give us
you need some magic in your life.
Yeah, because all these games are awesome and magical. So basically, send us the saddest story you could think of.
Oh.
Well, about you.
About you.
Why you would need some magic.
Why you would need
some
these
friendship.
games.
A little bit of fake friendship.
But don't cause any sadness on purpose.
Yeah, because there's
Frozen.
Frozen Synapse is one of the games. Trine, Shadowgrounds. There's a ton of awesome. It's easy like $60, $70 worth of games.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, so
yeah.
and you get all of them, and it's fucking awesome. So yeah, send us your sob story of why you need happiness in your life.
And I think it's about time we stop fucking these people's ears and get the hell out of here.
Yep, that sounds like a good enough ending.
Stop fucking their ear pussies. Is that
Do
what
it in the ear hole.
Squeal like a pig.